Do you notice this Dollar Tree still posts the 1.25 sign, but more and more items are getting smaller, offering less, or quietly disappearing with no warning? That's not random. That's shrinkflation happening right on the shelf. Quiet but very real. The problem is that most shoppers look only at the price, not the real usable value. Meanwhile, experienced shoppers are quietly stocking up on a very specific group of items. Things that are actually cheap, genuinely useful in everyday life and in emergencies, and showing signs they won't stay at this price for long. Here's a list of 12 items you should buy sooner rather than later before Dollar Tree shrinks the size, switches suppliers, or simply stops carrying them. If you want to spend less but stay better prepared, this section is for you. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1. Battery-powered LED lights, motion sensor lights. Battery-powered LED lights, especially those with motion sensors, are among the most valuable yet most easily overlooked items at Dollar Tree. People often walk right past them because they're small, simply packaged, and don't call for attention. But when the power goes out when you get home late, or when you need instant light in a hallway, stairwell, or garage, that's when you realize why this is not something you should wait to buy until the moment you need it. The biggest strength of these lights is their independence. They don't require an outlet, don't need complicated installation, and don't rely on the home's electrical system. You can mount one on a wall, place it in the corner of a cabinet, or keep it in your car and use it immediately. With motion sensor versions, the light turns on only when movement is detected, which helps conserve battery life and removes the need to remember switches. Compared with other stores, similar LED lights often cost several times more. At Dollar Tree, the quality isn't premium, but it's sufficient for emergency and backup use. That's exactly why experienced shoppers often grab several at once, one for the house, one for the car, and one for an emergency kit. 2. Shelf-stable foods and canned goods. Shelf-stable foods and canned goods are some of the easiest items to buy at Dollar Tree, and also some of the easiest to buy wrong. Many shoppers see the low price and start grabbing everything, but smart buyers focus on use case and shelf life. At Dollar Tree, the real value of dry and canned foods isn't about gourmet taste, it's about durability, readiness, and flexibility. Canned foods, noodles, rice beans, soups, and packaged snacks can last for months or even years when stored properly. On a tight budget, this is one of the cheapest ways to build a safety buffer in your kitchen, ready-to-eat food. For times when you can't get to the store, the weather turns bad, or your budget suddenly tightens. That said, not everything on the shelf is worth buying. Many items are off-brand with inconsistent flavor and texture. The smart approach is to test before stocking up. Buy 1 or 2 units, try them during regular meals, and only return to buy more if they actually work for you. This avoids the all-too-common mistake of stockpiling food that no one wants to eat. As more people catch on to Dollar Tree's solid deals on shelf-stable foods, the easy-to-eat, easy-to-use items sell out faster. And when they return, they're often either gone or quietly reduced in size. 3. Batteries, various types. When shopping at Dollar Tree, batteries are often the most overlooked item. They come in small packs, quietly hanging on the rack. Many people think you can buy batteries anytime, but it only takes one power outage, a dead remote, or a flashlight that won't turn on when you need it to realize that missing just one battery can bring everything to a stop. AA and AAA batteries from Dollar Tree aren't meant to replace premium, long-lasting batteries. Their real purpose is to make sure you always have some on hand. These small packs are perfect for spreading out, one in the kitchen, one in the car, and one in your emergency kit. When you need them, you don't have to run to the store or tear the house apart looking for batteries. Another advantage is how easy they are to stock up over time. Each time you stop by Dollar Tree, grab one more pack. It doesn't cost much in the moment, but after a few months, you'll have a solid supply ready for a wide range of unexpected situations. In reality, batteries are always among the first items to disappear when storms hit power. Outages happen or bad news starts circulating. At that point, batteries become scarce and expensive. Buying batteries early at Dollar Tree isn't about chasing the cheapest price. It's about not being caught unprepared when everyone suddenly needs them at once. 4. Basic first aid supplies. Basic first aid supplies are something everyone thinks they already have until the moment they actually need them and realize a key item is missing. At Dollar Tree, bandages, antiseptic wipes, gauze, and OTC pain relievers aren't top-tier medical products, but they work very well as a backup layer. The key thing to understand is this: buying first aid supplies at Dollar Tree isn't meant to fully replace your main medical kit. The packages are small, quantities are limited, and the per-unit price isn't always cheaper than buying in bulk elsewhere. Their real value lies in quick replenishment and risk distribution. You can keep a few items in the kitchen, bedroom, car, or backpack. When you get a small cut, headache, or mild fever, everything is right there. For OTC medications like acetaminophen or ibuprofen, many people hesitate because they're off-brand. In reality, the active ingredients are the same. The difference is mostly branding and packaging. For everyday situations, this is a cost-effective and perfectly reasonable option. As for items like wipes, bandages, and gauze, there's very little risk in terms of perceived quality as long as they're within the expiration date. 5. Oral care essentials. There are mornings when you pick up your toothbrush and suddenly notice the bristles are worn out. The toothpaste tube is nearly empty and you can't even remember the last time you bought floss. These are small problems, not emergencies, but they're enough to make your day start off on the wrong foot. That's why oral care items are something you're better off preparing in advance instead of waiting until you've completely run out. Dollar Tree is a very practical option for this purpose. The value of toothbrushes, toothpaste, and dental floss at Dollar Tree isn't in replacing the higher-end products you use every day. It's in serving as backup supplies. Each visit, toss one small item into your cart. It costs very little and requires no real thought. After a few trips, you'll have a reserve ready to use anytime, no last-minute rush to the store. Another benefit is the compact size. You can keep one set in the bathroom, one in your suitcase, and one in the car. When you travel or have guests staying over, everything is already prepared. And like many essential items, once people start stocking up, these small products tend to disappear from the shelves very quickly. Like the video if this surprised you. 6. Cleaning products. Cleaning products are one of those categories you don't really notice until you run out, and then you feel the absence immediately. A dirty sink, a greasy stovetop, sticky countertops. These everyday issues quietly shape how your home feels day to day. At Dollar Tree, the small bottles of cleaners don't look impressive, but they handle exactly the small routine problems every household deals with. One big advantage of Dollar Tree cleaners is their compact size. Not everyone has space to store large bottles. These smaller ones fit easily under the sink in a secondary bathroom or in a cleaning caddy in the car. When you need to quickly wipe up a spill or deal with an odor, it's right there. No searching for a big bottle you stashed somewhere else. Some people hesitate because many options are off-brand. In reality, for basic tasks like cleaning the kitchen toilet door handles or countertops, you don't need anything fancy. What matters is having the right type of cleaner and using it regularly. At a low price point, you can try a few different types, then keep the ones that work best for you. 7. Zip bags and aluminum foil. Zip bags and aluminum foil are items no one really thinks about until they're suddenly missing, and everything feels inconvenient. Leftovers with no bags, food in the fridge absorbing odors, or needing to wrap something quickly and realizing you're out. These small frustrations happen more often than we expect. At Dollar Tree, zip bags and foil are very practical everyday essentials you can use right away. Zip bags, especially the larger sizes, do much more than just store food. They're useful for portioning dry goods, organizing freezer items, holding wet clothes during travel, or keeping small miscellaneous items together. With the smaller packs at Dollar Tree, you can build up slowly, one box at a time. It doesn't feel expensive, but when you need them, you're never caught without any. Aluminum foil is the same way. It sounds basic, but it's useful for wrapping food, lining baking trays, covering leftovers in the fridge, and handling all kinds of quick improvised cooking situations. Some people even keep foil in their emergency kits because it's lightweight, folds easily, and has many uses. And like many essentials, once people start stocking up, these items disappear from the shelves fast. Buying them ahead of time at Dollar Tree isn't about overstocking. It's about avoiding that familiar, frustrating moment when you know you need something, but realize you've run out. 8. Grill racks. There are moments when you need to place a pot over a heat source, but you don't have a proper stove. Power outages, outdoor cooking, a small portable gas burner, or simply needing a stable surface to heat food temporarily. In those situations, a grill rack becomes extremely useful, even though most people barely notice it when walking through Dollar Tree. A grill rack works like a flexible cooking surface. Set it over an alcohol stove or a camping burner, or even balance it between two bricks and you've got a place to hold a pot kettle or small pan. When there's no stable heat-safe surface available, it helps keep cookware balanced and reduces the risk of tipping, especially in makeshift setups. The biggest advantage of Dollar Tree grill racks is that they're lightweight, thin, and easy to store. They don't take up space and require no setup. You can keep one in the trunk, a storage corner, or an emergency kit, and practically forget it's there until the moment you need it, and it works immediately. Beyond cooking, grill racks can also be used as trivets for hot items, heat-resistant surfaces, or in situations where airflow underneath is needed. Because they're useful in so many different scenarios, once people start thinking about preparedness and backups, grill racks tend to disappear from the shelves fairly quickly. 9. Plastic tarps. There are times when you need to cover line or block water or create a temporary protective layer, and you need to do it right away. Sudden rain, wet floors during cleaning, furniture that has to sit outside. In situations like these, plastic tarps are a fast, practical solution, far more effective than trying to improvise with towels or cardboard. At Dollar Tree, plastic tarps look simple, but their usefulness is surprisingly broad. Plastic tarps shine because of their flexibility. Lay one on the floor during painting or repairs to prevent messes. Cover items during rain or wind. Use one as a moisture barrier in a car trunk or a storage corner. When you need quick coverage, splash protection, or a clean, dirty boundary, you just spread the tarp and you're done. No tools, no setup time. Another advantage is that they're lightweight and easy to fold. You can keep one in the car, one at home, and one in an emergency kit. The low price makes it easy to have multiple tarps for different locations instead of constantly moving one around every time you need it. In emergency situations, plastic tarps can also serve as temporary protection, covering a broken window, creating a dry sleeping area, or forming a simple shelter. They're not a long-term solution, but they're more than enough to help you get through periods of inconvenience. 10 candles, pillar, candles, tea lights. There are moments when light matters more than you expect. A nighttime power outage, a tripped breaker, or simply needing soft, steady light to move around the house without the harsh glare of a flashlight. In those situations, candles are a very down-to-earth solution. No batteries, no outlets, just light when you need it. At Dollar Tree, candles are one of those low-cost items with long-term usefulness. Pillar candles, the taller ones, often in glass, burn longer and more steadily. They're stable on tables, counters, or in the bathroom, and less likely to tip over. When you need continuous light for several hours, they require very little attention. Tea lights, on the other hand, are small and versatile, great for lanterns, spreading light across multiple areas or short tasks. Each type has its own role, but both meet the same basic need: light when electricity isn't an option. Everyone has seen this happen when storms, widespread outages, or bad news hit. Candles disappear from shelves fast. At that point, they're not just scarce, they're hard to find in the type you actually want. Being prepared with candles doesn't make you pessimistic. It simply ensures that when darkness comes unexpectedly, you stay calm and in control. 11. Hand sanitizer with 70% alcohol. There are times when you don't have soap and water available, but still need to clean your hands immediately. In parking lots, in the car, after touching door handles, shopping carts, or public surfaces. In these very common situations, hand sanitizer with 70% alcohol or higher becomes a small item that solves a big problem quickly. At Dollar Tree, this is a category worth buying before everyone suddenly remembers it. What matters most isn't the scent or the packaging, it's the alcohol concentration. Levels of 70% or higher are effective at significantly reducing bacteria and viruses on your hands when proper hand washing isn't possible. A small amount rubbed in thoroughly is enough to let you continue what you're doing with peace of mind. In everyday life, this helps limit the spread of minor illnesses within a household. Anyone who has lived through a shortage knows this well. Hand sanitizer disappears from shelves incredibly fast. All it takes is bad news, a resurgence of illness or widespread anxiety, and shelves are empty almost instantly. When that happens, it's not just scarce, it's hard to find products that actually meet the required alcohol concentration. 12. Backup cooking utensils. There are times when you have food and a heat source, But you're missing the one thing you need to stir, flip, or scoop. A plastic spoon melts, a spatula handle snaps, a fork goes missing. These small problems tend to show up at the worst possible moments. That's why backup cooking utensils are rarely noticed but incredibly helpful for keeping daily routines from coming to a halt. At Dollar Tree, this is the kind of purchase you make to forget about until the moment you really need it, and it suddenly makes perfect sense. Heat-resistant spoons, spatulas, and forks from Dollar Tree aren't meant to replace your main kitchen tools. Their value is as a plan B. When cooking outdoors, camping, using a portable gas stove, or when something in your home kitchen breaks unexpectedly, you can keep cooking without stopping to run to the store. The low price makes it easy to keep a few pieces in the car trunk, a camping bag, or an emergency kit. If they get scratched, scorched, or damaged, there's no real regret. This is especially useful in temporary or makeshift situations where tools tend to wear out faster than usual. Another advantage is that they're lightweight and compact. They don't take up space and don't require special storage. You can bundle a few together, wrap them up, and leave them untouched for a long time. When the moment comes, you unwrap them, and they're ready to use immediately. 13 seeds for growing plants. At Dollar Tree, seeds are small, inexpensive items, but they open up more possibilities than you might expect. It's important to be clear, upfront. Dollar Tree seeds aren't heirloom varieties, aren't packaged in a premium way, and don't guarantee high germination rates like specialty seeds do. But that's exactly why they're ideal for experimenting, learning how to grow plants, and seeing what actually works in your environment. Just a few packets are enough to test whether your soil, sunlight, and watering conditions are a good match before investing more. When daily routines are disrupted, budgets tighten, or you simply want more control over your food, seeds carry a strong psychological benefit. Growing even a small amount of vegetables can give you a sense of producing something yourself instead of relying entirely on store shelves. One overlooked aspect is that seeds also have sharing and barter value. When people start thinking about growing their own food, seeds are easy to give, easy to trade, and almost always appreciated. They're small, lightweight, and store well without taking up space. What all these Dollar Tree items have in common isn't that they're shockingly cheap, but that they solve real problems when daily life becomes less convenient. Buying gradually and focusing on the right essential categories helps you avoid running out exactly when you need something, reduces panic when shelves are empty, and keeps life feeling more stable. Smart spending at Dollar Tree isn't about buying more. It's about being prepared before your options start to shrink. Which item in the video surprised you the most? From the outside, Dollar Tree still looks familiar. The same green signage, the same tightly packed shelves, the same feeling of stopping in to grab a few small things. But what's changing isn't always visible at first glance. Prices are no longer just a single number. Products are no longer placed on shelves the way they used to be. And many items that seem cheap are quietly costing shoppers more than they realize. Let's take a closer look at what you need to know before shopping at Dollar Tree. When you pay attention, you'll start to see the difference between real value and the familiar traps people fall into out of habit, and how each visit can end with fewer items but ones that are actually worth the money you spent. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. Shop Dollar Tree. Online for more flexibility. If you still think Dollar Tree is only worth visiting in person, you may be missing out on a much more flexible option shopping online. Dollar Tree's website doesn't strictly follow the same $1.25 logic you see on store shelves. Online, you're not locked into one price per item, and you don't have to bundle a handful of random items just to make the trip feel worthwhile. The biggest difference is how quantity works. For the same product, you can buy in bulk if you need a lot, or purchase individual units if you just want to try something out. This is especially useful for party supplies, office items, basic household goods, or donation purchases. Instead of walking aisle to aisle, grabbing individual packs of napkins or paper cups, a few clicks gets it done, still inexpensive and far more time efficient. Online shopping also helps reduce impulse buying. There's no wandering past aisle after aisle and casually tossing in items that seem cheap. You see exactly what you need, choose the right quantity, add it to your cart, and stop there. Another detail many people overlook is that the online store often carries items not fully stocked in physical locations, different sizes, different pack counts, or products that only make sense when sold in multi-packs. If you're preparing for an event, clearing out storage, or buying for a large group, this approach is far more effective than hopping between multiple stores. Dollar Tree Online doesn't completely replace the in-store experience, but it does offer a different way to shop, more intentional, less cluttered, and closer to what you actually need. Knowing when to go into the store and when to buy online is one of the biggest differences between shopping cheap and shopping smart. Check the restock schedule to get ahead of others. Shopping right when shelves have been restocked can make a huge difference. Many items disappear quickly, not because demand is overwhelming, but because late shoppers only see what's already been picked through. When you understand restock timing, you're no longer relying on luck. Each store has its own restocking rhythm. Some replenish early in the week, others midweek, and some shift schedules seasonally. Right after restocking is when shelves are fully stocked. Sizes and varieties are intact. Items haven't been mixed into clearance and displays haven't been disrupted. This is also when you're most likely to find seasonal items, popular snacks, or limited-time products. The simplest way to figure this out is by observing a few visits or casually asking an employee when shelves are usually fullest. Shopping in the morning right after restocking feels completely different from stopping by late in the day or on weekends when choices are already heavily narrowed. Once you understand a store's restock cycle, shopping becomes more proactive. You're no longer standing in front of empty shelves or choosing from leftovers. Instead, you browse calmly without rushing, and without that feeling of just buying something to get it over with. Timing restocks won't make you buy more, but it helps you buy at the right moment. And in an environment where products come and go quickly, timing is the single biggest advantage over shoppers who only stop by when it's convenient and hope for the best. DIY mindset: one item, multiple uses. One of the reasons Dollar Tree still holds its ground even though prices are no longer strictly $1 comes down to how shoppers think about an item, not the item itself. If you walk in with the mindset of buy it only for the purpose printed on the label, Dollar Tree can feel underwhelming very quickly. But once you shift into a DIY mindset, a single item can go much further than its price tag suggests. Many things here look ordinary at first glance: simple picture frames, thin plastic bins, empty spray bottles, and small storage baskets. But for experienced shoppers, these aren't finished products, they're raw materials. A picture frame can become wall decor with a backing sheet and a few faux stems. Plastic containers aren't just for odds and ends. They can be used to sort emergency supplies, repair tools, or pantry backups. A spray bottle can hold a wide range of homemade cleaning solutions, replacing pricier pre-filled products. What makes Dollar Tree appealing is the low risk. If an idea doesn't work out, the money lost isn't enough to feel painful. That safety net encourages people to experiment, get creative, and use products in ways they weren't originally intended. And the more you experiment, the clearer it becomes that the real value isn't in the item itself, it's in how you use it. Once you start viewing Dollar Tree through a DIY lens, you stop asking, what is this meant for, and start asking, what else could this be used for? That small shift leads to a more intentional cart. Fewer unnecessary items, but each one serving more purposes. Visiting multiple stores, a true treasure hunt. With Dollar Tree, one location is often not enough. Many shoppers don't realize that each store has a different mix of products. Inventory isn't distributed evenly, and just because one store is out of something doesn't mean another nearby location will be the same. That imbalance turns Dollar Tree shopping into a genuine treasure hunt. Some items overflow shelves at one store and completely disappear at another. Especially closeout deals. Craft supplies, seasonal decor, or the limited $3 to $5 items. These products aren't restocked consistently, and they rarely return once they're gone. That's why seasoned shoppers don't stop at just one location. They're willing to check one or two more stores to compare options. Interestingly, each store reflects the neighborhood around it. High-traffic areas tend to stock more everyday essentials. Quieter locations are more likely to carry leftover inventory, unusual items, or even branded products that never show up elsewhere. With a bit of observation, it becomes clear which stores align best with your needs. Of course, there's no need to drive all over town every time. But when you're hunting for a specific item or looking for deeper discounts, checking a few extra locations can make a significant difference. Value is no longer simple. Size matters more than price. Shopping at Dollar Tree used to be straightforward. See a $1 price tag, toss it in the cart, and no second thought is required. But as pricing has become more varied, value no longer sits neatly in the number printed on the shelf. Now size matters more than price, and that's where many shoppers make mistakes without realizing it. Plenty of items look inexpensive simply because the package is small. A tiny bottle of cleaner, a thin snack pack, or a compact paper roll can feel like a convenient low-cost choice. But when you look closer, that same amount of money could often buy significantly more elsewhere. The problem is that the feeling of cheap kicks in quickly while comparison gets skipped. Dollar Tree isn't always at a disadvantage when it comes to size. There are categories they do very well: basic household items, single-use products, or things that are hard to find at larger supermarkets. But recognizing that requires a change in perspective. Instead of asking, "How much does this cost?" the better question is, "How much am I actually getting?" A small habit, checking quantity, volume, or doing a quick mental comparison with products you already use, is often enough to avoid rushed decisions. Once you start focusing on size instead of just price, Dollar Tree becomes less surprising. Your cart becomes more intentional, and the money you spend more accurately reflects the value you receive. Hidden deal zones most shoppers miss. At Dollar Tree, not every good deal is displayed in a way that makes its value obvious at first glance. Some of the best offers sit quietly among regular items, and if you're not paying close attention, you'll walk right past them as if they were never there. Bonus buys are a prime example, an offer many shoppers miss simply because they don't realize it exists. Bonus buys usually don't look special. Same brand, same shelf placement, just a larger size or higher quantity while the price stays the same. For shoppers who buy on autopilot, that detail is easy to overlook. But for those who pay attention, this is where Dollar Tree actually gives you more for your money. The tricky part about bonus buys is that they aren't grouped into a dedicated section, and they don't come with bold sale signs. They appear sporadically, change often, and tend to sell out quickly. Sometimes they're only around for a few days before everything quietly returns to the original size as if nothing ever happened. Spotting these deals is fairly simple. Look for items that appear unusually large compared to what's around them, or check for small labels mentioning extra quantity. Once your eye is trained, you'll start noticing them more often than you expect, from personal care items to snacks and household essentials. Like the video if this surprised you. Identifying hidden clearance areas. At Dollar Tree, clearance items aren't always marked with big signs or neatly grouped into an obvious corner. In reality, some of the best deals are tucked into places that are easy to miss, and the green baskets are a perfect example. To many shoppers, they look like nothing more than plastic bins sitting in the aisle. But to regular Dollar Tree shoppers, they signal a hidden clearance zone. These baskets usually hold clearance items, overstock, or products that need to be cleared out to make room for new shipments. They aren't organized like regular shelves, and they don't come with eye-catching discount signage. That quiet presentation causes many people to walk past without stopping. In practice, though, plenty of worthwhile items end up in these bins. One thing to remember: clearance items at Dollar Tree are not restocked. If you see something today, it may be completely gone tomorrow. So, if you come across an item you know you'll actually use, waiting often means missing out. There's no need to buy in bulk, just buy what makes sense. The green baskets also change frequently. Some days they're filled with small odds and ends, but other days you'll find decor, household goods, or even items that normally sell at higher price points. Simply making it a habit to glance through them each time you visit can reveal a very different side of Dollar Tree than what's on the regular shelves. Using the store locator to shop strategically. With Dollar Tree, smart shopping doesn't start inside the store. It starts before you even leave home. Many people use the store locator only to find the closest location, then walk in and buy whatever happens to be available. But when used correctly, this tool can help you shop far more strategically. Not all Dollar Tree stores are the same. Some locations are stronger in everyday consumables, while others tend to carry excess decor, craft supplies, or closeout items. These differences aren't random. They're shaped by location, storage space, and daily foot traffic. The store locator helps narrow your search instead of driving around and leaving disappointed when an item isn't there. If you're looking for a specific product, checking nearby stores in advance helps you choose the right destination and avoid wasting time and gas. Rather than visiting one store and hoping for luck, You take control by deciding which locations are worth prioritizing and which ones can be skipped. This approach is especially useful when hunting seasonal items, decorations, or products that don't appear consistently across all stores. Knowing which location has a higher likelihood of carrying what you want makes a Dollar Tree trip feel less like a gamble and more like a clear plan. Safety checks avoid costly mistakes. Low prices often cause shoppers to skip an important step: safety checks. When something costs $1.25, it's easy to brush it off with a quick, "It's fine." But not everything that's cheap should be bought without thinking, especially items that directly affect health and everyday use. Categories that deserve extra attention include cosmetics, children's products, food items, and hand tools. Unfamiliar packaging. Lesser-known brands or labels with very limited information are all signs to pause for a moment. There's no need to be overly cautious, just take a few extra seconds to read the label, check ingredients, or review usage instructions. That alone can prevent many unnecessary mispurchases. A helpful habit is to pay attention to how the product feels in your hand. Does the spray bottle feel sturdy? Does the cap seal properly? Does the plastic have a strong chemical smell? These small details often reveal more than the price tag ever will. For small electronics or tools, checking overall build quality before placing the item in your cart is especially important. Also, don't hesitate to pass on an item that looks like a good deal but gives you pause. Dollar Tree offers plenty of options, and skipping something you're unsure about doesn't mean you're missing out. On the contrary, it helps keep your cart focused and gives you more confidence when you actually use what you buy. Branded items and unexpected closeouts. One reason many shoppers still enjoy stopping by Dollar Tree, despite knowing it isn't always the cheapest option, is the element of surprise. Among familiar everyday items, branded products occasionally appear where you least expect them. They don't show up often, they don't come with advance notice, and they don't stay long. This is the world of closeouts. These items usually come from large retailers clearing out excess inventory, seasonal leftovers, or products undergoing packaging changes. The quality isn't lower. Because of that, they simply need to be moved out of warehouses quickly. Dollar Tree becomes the ideal destination. One day you might spot a recognizable brand in the snack aisle. Another day it could be personal care items or household goods that previously sold for much more elsewhere. What makes closeouts compelling isn't just the price, but their short window of availability. There's no fixed restock schedule and no guarantee they'll return. If you see something today, there's a strong chance it'll be gone tomorrow. That's why experienced deal hunters tend to react quickly. If they recognize a product they know they'll use, they grab it. No next time plans. That said, not every branded item is automatically a bargain. Some products may come in reduced sizes, altered formulas, or be designed for very specific needs. Taking a moment to read the label and do a quick comparison with the familiar version is a step you shouldn't skip, even when the brand name feels reassuring. Closeouts give Dollar Tree a sense of discovery that many other stores lack. Every visit feels different. You won't always find something worth buying, but when you do, that found a hidden treasure feeling is real. And that's exactly why many shoppers keep coming back, knowing full well that these opportunities appear and disappear just as quickly. Buy ahead of the season to save big. Most shoppers only think about seasonal decor or supplies when the season is already close. But for those who are used to shopping frugally, buying ahead of time is one of the most effective ways to cut spending. Dollar Tree is one of the few places that makes this possible if you're willing to move earlier than the crowd. Many seasonal items hit the shelves long before the season officially begins. Holiday decor, party supplies, and themed decorations often appear months in advance when demand is still low. At that point, selection is better, prices haven't been pressured upward, and there's no rush or competition. By the time the season approaches, those same items are often picked over or replaced with less appealing versions. Buying ahead doesn't mean buying excessively. It simply means knowing what you'll realistically use, whether it's for birthdays, family gatherings, holidays, or annual events. For items you're certain you'll need, purchasing early helps you avoid last-minute decisions when prices are usually less forgiving. Another advantage is time. Bringing items home early gives you room to rethink, reorganize, or combine them in different ways without the pressure of a deadline. Instead of reacting to the season, you're preparing in advance, and that sense of control is where real savings start to add up. Buying ahead of the season isn't for people who enjoy the rush. but it's ideal for anyone who wants tighter control over spending. Looking back, the savings don't come from a single purchase, but from a series of small decisions made earlier, and that's how Dollar Tree can deliver real value if you're willing to stay one step ahead. Dollar Tree is no longer a place where you can simply glance at the price and buy. Value now comes from observing carefully, comparing thoughtfully, and choosing the right timing. Knowing when to shop online, when to visit multiple stores, how to spot hidden deals, how to avoid habit-based purchases, and how to check safety before adding items to your cart helps keep money available for what truly matters. Which part of the video surprised you the most? Dollar Tree is still widely seen as a place where walking in means saving money, but very few people realize this. The biggest risks aren't in the $1.25 price tag. They're in what isn't said on the shelf. From unfamiliar food brands and prices subtly obscured on shelf labels to cosmetics and household chemicals with hidden risks, everything is presented under bright lights, eye-catching packaging, and the reassuring feeling of it's cheap, so it must be safe. But if you look more closely, you'll find items that are cheap at checkout, but expensive in the long run, costing more money, more effort, and sometimes even affecting your health. Before putting anything else in your cart, there are 7 behind-the-scenes truths about Dollar Tree that smart shoppers should know to save for real, not just feel like they're saving. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1. The truth about the food section that few people say out loud. This may be the most controversial area in Dollar Tree. Some shoppers walk in thinking, I'll just grab something cheap to get by, while others avoid it entirely because they've heard too many warnings. The truth sits somewhere in between. Not everything is bad, but very little is explained clearly. The first thing that makes people let their guard down is brand names. Shelves are filled with labels that sound familiar, but when you look closely, they're not quite the same. Similar packaging, similar colors, and names that differ by just one word. For rushed shoppers, the brain fills in the blanks. It's probably the same as what I usually buy. Inside, though, you're getting the cheapest possible formula, often more preservatives and fewer real ingredients. Frozen foods are the next point of debate. The low prices are tempting, especially on days when you don't feel like cooking. But many frozen items here cut costs heavily on the expensive ingredients: less meat, more starch, and higher sodium. You may feel full after eating, but when you check the ingredient list, it's mostly fillers. Most people don't read closely because the packaging does the talking. Attractive photos, oversized portions, and tiny text that gets ignored. Canned meats and canned foods in general are another category that surprises people once they read the labels. Ingredient lists are often long with many byproducts and unexpectedly high sodium compared to the actual amount of meat. Some cans look small, so shoppers think they're just trying a little, but the salt content can reach nearly half of the recommended daily intake. For those watching sodium or families with older adults, this is not something to buy on impulse. One issue that's rarely mentioned is short expiration dates. Dollar Tree isn't breaking any rules, but its inventory turnover means many products have limited shelf life left. If you plan to use them right away, that's fine. But if you buy them to stock up for later, it's easy to forget. By the time you remember, the item may be expired or noticeably lower in quality. At that point, whether it was cheap no longer matters. The snack and junk food aisle isn't as harmless as it looks either. Many items are imported from markets with different standards and rely on strong artificial colors and flavors to make up for cheaper ingredients. The initial taste may be okay, but the aftertaste is often harsh and becomes tiring quickly. Many people only notice after eating feeling unusually thirsty, heavy, or mildly uncomfortable signals that are easy to brush off. Milk and refrigerated items are the categories that require the most caution. Not because products are always spoiled, but because storage conditions aren't consistently reliable. Temperature control in discount stores isn't monitored as tightly as in major supermarkets. With fresh products, even small temperature fluctuations over time can affect quality, even if the expiration date hasn't passed. That doesn't mean the food section at Dollar Tree is all traps. There are items worth buying if you know what to choose: basic dry goods like plain pasta, rice, salt, sugar, and baking soda. These don't rely on flavorings or complex formulas, so quality differences are minimal. Simple spices can also be reasonable options: salt ground, pepper, chili powder, cinnamon, and dried oregano. The problem isn't the low price, it's shopping with big supermarket habits and expecting too much. When each item is chosen for the right purpose, Dollar Tree stops being controversial and becomes a place to buy smart and actually save. 2. The numbers that aren't on the shelf labels. If you only look at the shelves at Dollar Tree, many shoppers walk away with the same impression. It's still cheap, but the truth isn't in the $1.25 price tag. It's in the numbers that never appear on the shelf. Labels the ones you only discover when you pick up the product, use it, or compare it later at home. The first is quantity and weight. Shelf labels usually show just the product name, rarely the volume or weight needed for real comparison. A dish soap bottle may look familiar, but it's quietly shrunk from 20 ounces to 14. Snack boxes are smaller. Candy bars are thinner, and noodle packs are lighter. The price stays the same, but the usable amount goes down. When you calculate by ounce or gram, many Dollar Tree items actually cost more than those at major supermarkets. You just don't see it at the moment you put them in your cart. Next is how often you have to repurchase. A more diluted cleaner means you use more each time you wipe. A cheap battery that drains quickly means constant replacements. There's no number on the shelf telling you this item will run out twice as fast. Another overlooked number is actual usable time. Near expiration food isn't clearly flagged on the shelf, you only notice when you turn the package around. Some items have just weeks, sometimes even days left. That forces you to use them quickly, eat more than planned, or throw them away altogether. Then there's concentration and effectiveness numbers that are almost never highlighted. A cleaner with only 2% active ingredients versus 6% in a major brand. Hand sanitizer with alcohol levels below what's truly effective. Sunscreen labeled with a high SPF that tests much lower in real-world use. On the shelf, you see a product's name and colorful packaging, not the real performance behind the marketing numbers. Another form of hidden numbers is replacement cost. Plastic kitchen tools that crack after a few uses. Storage containers that warp with heat. Clips, knives, or scissors that break before you've gotten much use out of them. The shelf label never says, "This will only last a few uses," but in reality, you'll be back to buy a replacement sooner than expected. What frustrates many shoppers isn't that Dollar Tree is scamming them. It's that the presentation doesn't give buyers enough information to make informed decisions. There's no unit pricing, no warning about reduced sizes. You're expected to do that work yourself through experience, careful label reading, or by paying the price a few times first. 3. The snack aisle that looks harmless but carries hidden risks. The snack aisle at Dollar Tree is often where shoppers let their guard down the most. Bright shelves, eye-catching packaging, and low prices make it easy to think it's just snacks. How bad could it be? But this seemingly harmless area is actually one of the riskiest if you look more closely at what's inside. Start with chips and candy. Many products here aren't well-known brands, but look-alike names that closely resemble major labels. Brands like Tuxedos or Clover Valley. The packaging looks similar. The flavors are marketed the same way, but the ingredients are not. Artificial colors. Flavorings and preservatives are often used more heavily than in mainstream snacks at large supermarkets. Eating them once may not feel like a problem, but regular consumption can easily lead to dry mouth or constant thirst, classic signs of high additive content. Imported candy is another group that deserves caution. Many of these products come from markets with labeling standards and additive limits that differ from those in the US. Some chocolates use vegetable oils instead of cocoa butter, resulting in a waxy texture that doesn't melt evenly in your mouth. Yes, they're cheaper, but the quality and overall experience don't match suggests. More concerning is the dairy and refrigerated section. Dollar Tree isn't known for the same level of temperature control as major grocery chains. Coolers are opened and closed frequently, and slower inventory turnover can lead to unstable storage temperatures. Milk, cheese, yogurt, or chilled drinks may still be within date, but they may have gone through repeated temperature fluctuations. For people with sensitive stomachs, this is one of the most likely categories to cause discomfort. Frozen foods come with their own set of risks. A $1.25 frozen meal looks like a great deal, but when you check the ingredients, you often find unusually high sodium, heavy use of stabilizers, and lower nutritional value than expected. This isn't just about taste, it's about consuming products optimized for price, not for health. The snack aisle isn't something you need to avoid completely, but it's definitely not a place to shop on autopilot. Read labels more carefully, avoid impulse buys, and don't treat this section as a long-term snack source for your household, especially if you have young children. Like the video if this surprised you. 4 basic food items worth buying. After all the debate around Dollar Tree's food section, one thing needs to be said clearly. Not everything here should be avoided. The issue isn't whether to buy or not. It's buying the right kinds of food that actually fit Dollar Tree's role. The safest purchases are usually simple, minimally processed items that don't rely heavily on branding. In addition to basic dry goods and simple spices already mentioned, some canned foods with straightforward ingredients can also be reasonable options such as beans, diced tomatoes, or basic broth. These should be treated as supporting ingredients, not main meals. Used appropriately, they can save time and money without significantly lowering meal quality. Beyond food itself, kitchen support items are a clear strength at Dollar Tree. Aluminum foil parchment paper, small zip-top bags, and disposable aluminum trays. These items don't require high durability or strict quality standards, so buying them here carries far less risk than purchasing processed foods. Dollar Tree works best for foods with minimal intervention. When you avoid heavily processed items, unfamiliar brands, or products that require strict temperature control, the food section becomes far more manageable and far less risky to shop. 5 plastic and storage items great at checkout, disappointing in use. The moment you step into the plastic and storage section at Dollar Tree, many shoppers have the same reaction. These look fine, and they're cheap. Colorful plastic bins, neatly stacked baskets, and compartment trays all look clean and organized under store lighting. But this is also the area where many people feel the most disappointed after just a few weeks of use. The problem isn't the design. Most plastic items here are made to look good on the shelf, not to handle weight, heat, or long-term use. Storage bins may appear sturdy, but once you put in anything heavier than papers, the bottoms start to bow. Stackable plastic baskets look tidy at first, but after a few pullouts, the joints loosen, warp, and lose their shape. Because the plastic is extremely thin, exposure to heat inside a car, near a stove, or in a garage causes many containers to deform quickly. Some trays soften and warp after being washed in slightly warm water, no longer sealing properly or holding their shape. The storage aisle is also misleading. Boxes, bins, and totes look like proper home organization tools, but they aren't built for long-term storage. When used for winter clothing, small electronics, or moderately heavy items, lids cave in, sides crack, and stress points split. What seemed cheap at first turns into repeat purchases, second, third, and even fourth replacements. In real use, many plastic containers don't clearly state their heat tolerance or whether they're microwave or dishwasher safe, yet their design closely resembles purpose-built products. That makes it easy for users to misuse them, leading to odor absorption, warping, or surface peeling after a short time. That said, not all plastic items at Dollar Tree are useless. The issue is how they're used and what you expect from them. Plastic items that work reasonably well for very light-duty needs include small desk organizers, sewing supply boxes, cable trays, holders for earbuds or chargers, and single-use or temporary items. These don't carry weight and are mainly meant to keep things from getting lost, so thin plastic and limited durability aren't major drawbacks. 6 personal care products employees tend to avoid. Many former employees admit the section they avoid most at Dollar Tree is personal care, not because they dislike cheap products, but because this category carries a higher risk that isn't immediately obvious. Unlike broken housewares or spoiled food, problems here don't show up right away. They build over time with repeated use. Start with toothpaste. At a glance, it seems harmless, small tubes, familiar-looking labels, and low prices. But many varieties don't clearly state fluoride content or use formulas so basic that they only clean the surface. Your teeth may feel fine, but long-term cavity protection may fall short of expectations. Sunscreen is another item many employees openly say they won't use. Tests have shown that some products deliver significantly lower SPF than what's printed on the label. With sunscreen, this isn't a minor discrepancy. People believe their skin is protected when it may not be. Cheap cosmetics also fall into the avoid category. Lipsticks, powders, and foundations look appealing, but ingredient lists are often vague. There have been cases where trace levels of heavy metals were detected, not enough to cause immediate reactions but concerning with repeated use. That's why many employees choose not to buy Dollar Tree cosmetics for themselves. Air fresheners and scented products tend to smell strong at first, but mostly mask odors instead of improving air quality. Some contain intense synthetic fragrances that can trigger headaches or irritation, especially in homes with children or sensitive individuals. With insect repellent, the issue is effectiveness. Many products have low active ingredient levels, and short-lasting protection mosquitoes simply ignore them. Hand sanitizers have also raised concerns when some products failed to meet recommended alcohol concentrations, making the sanitizing effect largely symbolic. It's this repeated exposure that makes many employees steer clear because, with personal care, items cheap often becomes the cost you pay later. 7. Cheap household chemicals and personal care products. This is the area that creates the strongest sense of obvious savings at Dollar Tree, but it's also where many people unknowingly trade money for hassle. The issue isn't that these products don't clean at all, but that they clean in ways that are less effective and more costly over time. With cleaning products, the most noticeable pattern is heavy dilution. You spray them on, the chemical smell is sharp and strong, but the dirt is still there. Users often have to spray multiple times, scrub harder, or use twice as much compared to standard brands. The result is a cheap bottle that runs out quickly with performance that doesn't match the effort. Bleach and disinfectants also require caution. Active ingredient levels are often lower than standard products, which means longer kill times or results that don't meet expectations at all. For areas that require thorough sanitation like bathrooms or kitchens, this leads to a kind of clean that feels clean, not truly clean. Laundry detergent and liquid detergent make the issue even clearer. Many versions produce little foam, have an overpowering fragrance at first, but struggle to remove stains. Clothes may smell fresh after washing, yet sweat and grease residues linger. Many people end up using more detergent or running a second wash. Some formulas also rely on strong fragrances that can irritate sensitive skin. Because you can still mop floors and wash clothes, it's easy to think this works well enough. But once you factor in higher usage, extra time spent, and the risk of skin irritation, that initial cheap no longer feels cheap. When it comes to household chemicals and personal care products, Dollar Tree is best suited for very light temporary needs, such as quick surface wipe-downs or lightly soiled laundry. For regular cleaning children's items or households with sensitive skin. This is a category many people, especially former employees, choose to avoid to prevent problems later on. Dollar Tree isn't a place where everything you buy is wrong, but it's also not a store to shop on autopilot. Low prices only truly matter when they match the right purpose. Simple dry foods, disposable items, and lightweight goods still make sense here. In contrast, products that directly affect health, hygiene, and long-term use deserve much more careful consideration. When you understand Dollar Tree as a short-term solution rather than a replacement for full-scale supermarkets, you'll know when to buy and when to walk away, and your money will be spent far more wisely. Which part of the video surprised you the most? Dollar Tree is no longer a true $1 store, and that's exactly why many people are making the wrong choices when preparing emergency supplies. Prices may rise, but there are certain items that if you skip them now, you'll end up paying much more for when a real disruption actually happens. Prepping isn't about stockpiling out of fear. It's about choosing the right essentials before systems break down. And this is a list of 8 items that genuinely help you get through, adapt, and stay in control even on a tight budget. Watch until the end, and you'll know which items are worth buying now and which ones aren't worth your money. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. One. Bungee cords. In emergency situations, the problem is often not a lack of supplies, but the inability to keep things in place. Strong winds, rushed movement, temporary setups, just a few items shifting out of position, can throw daily routines into chaos. Bungee cords solve that exact issue. They keep things secured when normal anchoring isn't possible. Bungee cords are designed for quick fastening, temporary holding, and easy release. When you need to secure a tarp as a makeshift shelter, stabilize items in a vehicle, keep storage bins from tipping over, or bundle supplies together, they're far faster and more practical than regular rope. There's no knot tying and no repeated adjustments. In temporary living situations, bungee cords can also be used to hold doors against wind. Hang lights create a clothesline, secure backpacks to carts, or keep panels and coverings from shifting. These may seem like small tasks, but when they can't be done daily, life becomes far more inconvenient, especially in unstable environments. The biggest advantage of bungee cords is that they're compact and lightweight. Tossing a few into a backpack, car trunk, or emergency kit takes up almost no space. When you need them, they're ready to use immediately with no extra tools required. For people who aren't comfortable handling rope or complex knots, they're much easier to manage. Bungee cords are also reusable. In situations where you need to unhook and resecure items repeatedly, they're far more convenient than tape or single-use ties. When supplies have to be moved and repositioned often, their elasticity helps absorb tension and reduces slipping. Many people only think of bungee cords for securing cargo during travel. But in prepping, they're tools for maintaining temporary order. When nothing is as fixed as it normally is, having a few bungee cords on hand helps keep your setup organized, reduces chaos, and frees you up to focus on more important tasks. 2 basic first aid supplies. Many serious problems start with very small incidents. A cut from opening a box, a slip while cleaning, or a scrape that seems insignificant at first. In everyday life, these are easy to brush off. But when normal routines are disrupted, even a minor injury can slow everything down. Basic first aid supplies aren't something you keep just in case. They're a set of tools that help you stay in control during small but frequent mishaps. When you can't get to a pharmacy right away, it's inconvenient to call for help, or you simply want to deal with the situation quickly. Items like bandages, sterile gauze, adhesive strips, and antiseptic solutions are the first things you reach for. The strength of a basic first aid kit is its simplicity. You don't need medical training or complicated equipment. Knowing how to clean a wound, cover it properly, and secure it is often enough to prevent it from getting worse. For children, older adults, or anyone with sensitive skin, early and gentle care is even more important than trying to fix it fast. Having a prepared first aid kit also reduces panic. When supplies are within reach, you're not scrambling around the house or resorting to makeshift solutions. Your response becomes calmer, more accurate, and less prone to mistakes, which matters when your hands are shaking or someone is in pain. In reality, most situations aren't major emergencies but small repeated issues: blisters, insect bites, scrapes from lifting items, or mild sprains. Basic first aid supplies allow you to handle these problems on the spot, instead of letting them build into something more serious. 3 multi-purpose shower curtains. Most people only think of shower curtains as something that hangs in the bathroom. But in daily life, and especially when quick adaptation is needed, they're one of the most versatile items that often go overlooked. The value isn't in the shape, but in the material: waterproof, lightweight, foldable, and ready to use without complicated setup. When living space becomes limited or conditions are no longer ideal, a shower curtain can turn into a temporary barrier in just minutes. It can block rain, stop wind, keep out dust, or create privacy when you need to change clothes or rest. With just a few cords, tape, or hooks, you can set up a simple but effective divider almost instantly. Another very practical use is protecting belongings from water and moisture. If floors get wet, roofs leak, or items need to be elevated temporarily, laying a shower curtain underneath helps keep things dry and reduces damage. For electronics, documents, or backup clothing, even a thin waterproof layer can make a big difference. Shower curtains can also be used to collect and hold water when quick storage is needed. Spread one out under a gutter, on a balcony, or in a rain-catching area, and you instantly have a temporary surface for collecting clean water. When you're done, just pour it out, wipe it dry, and fold it up. It's far less bulky than rigid buckets or plastic containers. Another advantage is weight and size. A folded shower curtain takes up almost no space and can be tucked into a car trunk, backpack, or cabinet without much planning. Compared to thick tarps or large plastic sheets, shower curtains are more flexible, easier to carry, and easier to replace. In everyday situations, shower curtains also help with very practical tasks: laying one down during repairs to protect floors, covering items while painting, or spreading it under an outdoor eating area to make cleanup easier. These small uses save time and prevent messes or damage that would otherwise require extra effort to fix. 4. Epsom salt. Epsom salt is often grouped into the category of relaxation soaks, but from a practical standpoint, it's one of the most affordable, easy to find, and versatile items that many people underestimate. The question isn't whether it's miraculous, but whether it addresses very real everyday needs. Especially when the body is worn down, routines are disrupted or normal care options aren't fully available. When you're forced to be more physically active than usual, cleaning up, lifting heavy items, walking long distances, or standing for extended periods, the body responds quickly with muscle tightness, soreness, and cramps. Epsom salt helps relieve these symptoms in the simplest way possible, soaking or compressing. No machines, no strong painkillers. Just warm water and salt are enough to calm overheated muscles and help the body recover faster so you can keep going. One benefit that often goes unnoticed is its usefulness for small but irritating issues, mild swelling, bruises, and insect bites. When used properly, Epsom salt can help reduce swelling and stinging, which is especially helpful when you don't have many other care options available. It's not a replacement for medical treatment, but it helps keep minor issues from getting worse. Epsom salt is also useful for basic hygiene needs. When diluted correctly, it can be used to wash hands or feet, or to gently clean shallow skin abrasions. In situations where water must be conserved, movement is limited, or specialized products aren't available, that flexibility becomes extremely valuable. From a storage standpoint, Epsom salt has clear advantages. It's dry, lightweight, and long-lasting. It doesn't expire quickly and doesn't require special storage conditions. As long as it's kept in a dry place, it can be used for an extended period. For anyone preparing emergency supplies, it takes up very little space while offering repeated use. Perhaps most importantly, there's a mental benefit. When physical discomfort lingers, morale drops quickly. A simple solution that eases pain helps keep daily routines from spiraling downward. Epsom salt won't solve everything, but it prevents small problems from building into overwhelming fatigue. Like the video if this surprised you. 5 Cleaning and hygiene supplies. Cleaning and hygiene supplies are something many people only think about when their home starts to look dirty. In everyday life, however, these are the items that keep situations from getting out of control. When living spaces become tighter, water is limited, or multiple people share the same area. Cleanliness is no longer about appearance. It becomes a matter of health and daily comfort. It only takes one poorly cleaned surface for bacteria and unpleasant odors to build up quickly. Trash that sits too long, spilled food, door handles, and kitchen counters. These are all high-touch areas. Having wipes, basic cleaning solutions, gloves, and small brushes on hand allows you to deal with messes immediately instead of letting dirt accumulate into a bigger problem. The longer you wait, the more effort it takes to clean later. Cleaning products don't need to be strong in the sense of harsh smells or corrosive chemicals. What matters is using the right product in the right place. 1 Multi-purpose cleaner. A small amount of disinfectant and a few sponges are enough to handle most household surfaces. Used efficiently and with intention, you'll save both water and energy. In many situations, basic hygiene also helps prevent unnecessary health issues. Dirty hands touching the face. Contaminated surfaces, shared items that aren't wiped down. These can easily lead to digestive problems, skin irritation, or the spread of colds and flu. Regular cleaning doesn't make everything sterile, but it significantly reduces risk. A clean environment also has a psychological benefit. When your surroundings are orderly, it's easier to stay calm, focus, and rest. Living in cluttered, damp, or foul-smelling conditions drains energy much faster, even if you don't immediately notice it. From a preparedness standpoint, cleaning supplies have another advantage: they're easy to portion and easy to restock. You don't need to buy large quantities all at once. As long as you have the basics, an all-purpose cleaner, wipes, gloves, and a brush, you're covered. When something runs out, replacing it is simple and doesn't require specialized equipment. You don't need a perfect space, just one that's clean enough to live in without constant stress. In any situation, the ability to keep your environment stable and sanitary is a major advantage. 6 Glow sticks. Glow sticks are something many people have bought for kids to play with festivals or one-time events and then forgotten about. But when you look at them in situations where you need reliable light without depending on electricity, their value is very different. They're not meant to replace flashlights, but to be used when other light sources can't be trusted. Unlike flashlights or rechargeable lights, glow sticks work independently. No batteries, no switches, and no bulbs that can burn out. You simply snap and shake, and you have light instantly. In dark environments, cluttered spaces, or situations where you need to act quickly, that simplicity matters. There's no searching for batteries and no worry about devices failing halfway through. One very practical advantage is safety. Glow sticks produce no heat, no sparks, and pose no fire risk. This is especially useful when there may be gas fuel or confined spaces around. In those conditions, cool light is far safer than any electric light source. In terms of use, glow sticks aren't just for illumination. You can hang them on door handles to mark pathways, attach them to backpacks or jackets for visibility, or place them in a corner of a room to provide soft background light for hours. They don't glare, and they don't disorient people waking up suddenly in the dark. Another advantage is durability. Glow sticks are waterproof and unaffected by rain or high humidity. You can store them in a car kit backpack or emergency bin without worrying about damage. When you need them, they work exactly as they did when you bought them. All they require is dry storage and protection from high heat. No charging, no battery leaks that could damage nearby items. For anyone preparing emergency supplies, they're a true set-it-and-forget-it item. When complex systems can fail, a simple light source that works once but works for sure is worth having. You don't always need bright light. Sometimes the right light at the right moment is enough. 7 basic hand tools. Basic hand tools are often overlooked because they don't feel impressive at the time of purchase. But the moment you need to fix something small and don't have them, the inconvenience becomes very clear. They're not meant to turn you into a technician just to help you manage when there's no other option. A screwdriver, pliers, utility knife, or small hammer takes up very little space but can handle a wide range of everyday tasks, tightening a loose screw on a door-cutting wire, opening battery compartments, adjusting hinges, or temporarily stabilizing something that's wobbling. These are normally quick fixes, but without tools they can turn into problems that last all day. The key advantage of basic hand tools is that they don't rely on electricity. No charging, no batteries, no circuits to fail. You just pick them up and use them. In many situations, that independence matters more than premium quality or brand names. With budget tool sets, expectations need to be realistic. They're not designed for heavy-duty work, rusted bolts, or complex machinery. But for temporary fixes, light repairs, and basic assembly or disassembly, they do exactly what they're supposed to do. And that good enough capability is precisely what matters in emergency supplies. A pair of pliers can grip, bend, and hold small objects. A utility knife doesn't just cut cardboard, it handles ties, thin plastic, and tough packaging. A screwdriver isn't only for screws. It can also pry gently aligned parts or act as a temporary lever. When you understand how to use them properly, one tool can replace several others. You can store these tools in a car kit cabinet or emergency backpack without worrying about deterioration over time. They don't require special maintenance, just keep them clean and dry. This is a category of supplies you buy once and rely on for a very long time. In everyday life, they help you avoid waiting. You don't have to wait for stores to open, call a technician for minor issues, or drop everything just because of a small detail. That sense of self-reliance saves not only money but also time and frustration. 8 water filtration and storage devices. Water is something people only truly think about when clean water is no longer available. As long as the tap still runs and bottled water fills the shelves, it feels like a distant concern. But once a disruption lasts more than a couple of days, the first thing that throws daily life off balance isn't food, it's water. Personal water filtration devices exist to fill that exact gap. They're not meant to replace a full household filtration system, but to make sure you can still drink water when the source is no longer reliable. The principle is simple: water passes through a filter, and bacteria, parasites, and sediment are trapped. No electricity, no batteries, and no chemicals are required. As long as there's water somewhere, you have a way to make it safer to drink. The biggest advantage of personal filters is immediacy. There's no need to boil water, wait for sediment to settle, or calculate dosages. You can drink directly or filter into another container for later use. In situations involving evacuation, extended power outages, or disrupted water supplies, that convenience makes a major difference. At the same time, collapsible water storage bags solve a different problem: storage. When there's a disaster warning, collecting and storing water quickly becomes a top priority. Collapsible bags can be opened in seconds, hold a large amount of water, and be placed under any faucet. Once emptied, they flatten and roll up, taking far less space than rigid jugs or containers. Their greatest strength is the volume-to-space ratio. Hard plastic containers take up space even when empty. Bags don't. This matters for people living in small apartments or those who need to store supplies in a car backpack or emergency cabinet. They aren't designed for everyday use but to be ready when needed. When combined, these two items form a simple and effective loop, a way to store water and a way to make that water drinkable. No complex investment, no elaborate systems, just enough to maintain basic daily needs during a disruption. The key is understanding their role. Personal filters don't turn dirty water into perfect water, but they significantly reduce risk. Collapsible storage doesn't replace large tanks, but it allows for fast response. They aren't luxury solutions, they're practical backup options for situations no one wants to face, but anyone could. Real value comes from understanding what truly keeps daily life from unraveling when circumstances change. Some simple items save time, effort, and stress. Others may seem cheap, but end up creating more inconvenience. Once you see that difference clearly, preparation stops being about stockpiling more and becomes about choosing just enough to stay functional, confident, and free from unnecessary problems later. Which item in the video surprised you the most? Do you think Dollar Tree only sells cheap disposable items? Things you buy just to get by? If so, this video might completely change how you see it. Right now, Dollar Tree shelves are carrying products that don't look $1 at all. From kitchen items to storage solutions, there are pieces that feel surprisingly upscale, things you'd normally expect to buy at Target or much more expensive home decor stores. The problem is, most people walk right past them without realizing their real value. These are deals from new shipments that only show up briefly before disappearing. After watching this, you'll head to Dollar Tree faster, shop more intentionally, and stop buying out of old habits. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1. Fabric storage bins. Shoe storage bags. These fabric storage bins and shoe bags are hitting shelves right after the holiday season, exactly when many people start decluttering their closets and cutting back on excess items. What stands out in this batch isn't flashy sizing or elaborate designs, but the level of finish that far exceeds the price point. The fabric holds its shape and doesn't collapse. The stitching is clean, and placing them in a closet or under the bed instantly makes the space feel more organized. At just around $125 per item, many shoppers choose to buy several at once to create a coordinated look instead of spending significantly more on organizers from specialty stores. The shoe bags help separate shoes from clothing, reducing odors and dust, while the fabric bins are flexible enough to store towels, off-season clothes, or miscellaneous bedroom items. These are the kind of purchases you can use immediately, no overthinking required. One thing to keep in mind is that these styles usually appear in short runs, especially after the holidays when stores are clearing inventory. Neutral colors like gray and beige tend to sell out first. If you're reorganizing your space at the start of the year, this is a category worth grabbing early because when you come back later, there's often not enough left to match sets. 2. Foldable travel organizer bags. They hang on Dollar Tree shelves, but visually they look almost identical to the travel organizers sold at airports or travel stores, where prices typically run $15–20. What surprises most people is the material quality and overall construction. The fabric is moderately thick with a smooth surface, not limp or flimsy. The zipper glides easily, one pull, and it opens or closes cleanly without snagging or stiffness. The stitching feels solid with no sense that it'll fall apart after a few uses. Folded up, it stays compact. Opened, the bag holds its shape well with enough compartments to keep items from piling up at the bottom. Customer reactions tend to follow the same pattern. At first, they grab one just to try it, thinking it'll be a temporary solution for a short trip. After using it, they realize it's far more convenient than expected. Toiletries stay separate. Charging cables and earbuds don't tangle, and small items no longer float around the suitcase. And then, they come back for more. Some buy extras for their gym bag. Others keep one in the car for emergencies, quick changes, workouts, or last-minute errands. It works in many situations: neat for travel, clean for the gym, and organized when kept in the car. You don't need to overthink how you'll use it. There's always a practical purpose. And visually, it looks neutral and clean, so even next to more expensive organizers, it doesn't give away its price. 3 long-stem wine glasses. These long-stem wine glasses are the kind of item that immediately feels out of place at Dollar Tree, but not in a cheap or disposable way. The bowl is tall and streamlined, the stem is well-proportioned, and from a distance they easily resemble glassware you'd see in higher-end home stores. Nothing flashy or over-designed, just refined enough to instantly make a table setting feel more elevated. If you've ever browsed Crate and Barrel, this shape will feel familiar: clear, slender glass with a moderately tall stem that immediately looks more upscale once it's on the table. The biggest difference is the price. A similar style there often costs several dozen dollars per set, while here you're holding something with a very similar aesthetic at a price that barely requires a second thought. In hand, the glass doesn't feel overly fragile. The clarity is decent, and it sits stably on the table without wobbling. What makes these glasses especially appealing is how versatile they are. You don't need to wait for a big party or special occasion. A weekend dinner, a few friends stopping by, or simply treating yourself to a glass of wine after a long day, switching from a regular glass to a stemmed one instantly changes the atmosphere. For anyone who enjoys table styling, this is a quick upgrade that doesn't cost much at all. 4 decorative glass jar scented candles. Decor-style scented candles in glass jars are the kind of item that already sounds unusual at Dollar Tree because they don't look anything like 125 products. The glass jar is clear and well-shaped, the lid is simple, and the overall look is very clean, perfectly aligned with today's minimalist decor trends. What surprises many people is how easily these candles can be mistaken at a glance for ones sold in decor stores or by lifestyle brands priced at $12–20. Same type of glass jar, similar neutral color palette, and that looks good just sitting there, quality rather than something you light once and then hide in a corner. For anyone who enjoys styling their living room, bedroom, or desk, placing one of these instantly changes the feel of the space. The scent is also pleasant and restrained, not overpowering or sharp. When lit, it creates a soft atmosphere without filling the entire room too aggressively. It works well for quiet evenings at home reading, watching a movie, or simply adding a subtle layer of warmth so the space feels less empty. Many people buy these candles initially with no intention of lighting them, purely for decorative purposes. But after lighting one and realizing it's perfectly fine, they come back for more. One for the living room, one for the bedroom, and another for the bathroom. Just a few placed around the house can make it feel more put together and intentional without spending much at all. 5 Yardley London Bar Soap, limited edition scents. A British brand that's been around for over a century long, associated with elegance and classic body care, yet here it is on the shelf for $1.25. Just hearing that already sounds almost unbelievable. The packaging is striking. Thick paper boxes with refined patterns, soft color palettes, subtle metallic accents, and embossed lettering. Placed in a bathroom or on a vanity, these bars look no different from soaps sold in gift shops or boutique spas. The scents are soft, clean, and very spa-like. Fragrances such as jasmine, rose, or strawberry and cream are not overpowering or overly sweet like mass-market soaps. When used, the lather is smooth and fine, the skin doesn't feel tight or dry afterward, and the scent lingers lightly rather than clinging too strongly. The overall experience feels like using a high-end hotel soap, the kind set out for guests that everyone ends up complimenting. Many people initially buy just one bar out of curiosity, but the reaction is usually the same. They try it at home, then come back for more. Some keep extras in the guest bathroom, some break them up as small gifts, and others simply stock up because they know this kind of item won't be around for long. And they're right. 6 Pro Silk Creamy Cashmere Lotion EOS Dupe. Pro Silk Creamy Cashmere Lotion feels like it's priced far below the actual experience it delivers. Sitting on a Dollar Tree shelf for $1.25, it doesn't look or feel like something you grabbed in a rush. The bottle is compact, the color is neutral, and the label is clean and clear, perfectly fine to leave out on a bathroom shelf or vanity without needing to hide it. The real appeal is in the texture and scent. The cream has a medium-rich consistency that spreads smoothly, absorbs quickly, and dries down comfortably. Skin feels soft immediately after application, without greasiness, stickiness, or an uncomfortable sheen. The creamy cashmere scent is light, warm, and slightly sweet, leaning more toward a calming, relaxing feel than a strong fragrance. It's especially pleasant at night, easy on the senses, not overpowering and not cloying. When people compare lotions priced at $15 or more, they're usually looking for 3 things: a pleasant scent, a satisfying application feel, and packaging that looks good left out. Pro Silk. Creamy cashmere checks all three boxes. That's why many people consider it an EOS dupe, not because it looks the same, but because the skin feel is genuinely comparable. Like the video if you're surprised. 7 Spatula Silicone Cook with Color. A spatula, hanging on a 125 rack, but the moment you touch it, it doesn't feel like a throwaway purchase. The one-piece design is clean and streamlined, the colors are tasteful, and the surface is smooth. Just looking at it, you can tell it's something you can leave out on the kitchen counter rather than hide in a drawer. Where it really stands out is in actual use. The silicone head is soft enough to flex perfect for scraping the bottom of a bowl, cleaning out sauce or folding batter but not floppy. The handle feels secure in the hand, not slippery, and doesn't require extra grip strength. When stirring in a hot pan, the spatula holds its shape, well doesn't sag, and doesn't curl at the edges. Small kitchen tasks, scraping the last bit of batter, gathering sauce, gently stirring. Feel smooth and controlled. Heat resistance makes a noticeable difference. The silicone doesn't go limp when exposed to heat, doesn't absorb odors after a few uses, and doesn't peel or discolor quickly. It's also safe for non-stick cookware without scratching the surface. This is the kind of everyday tool you can rely on without thinking too much and without needing to replace it soon. Do you think Dollar Tree only sells cheap disposable items? Things you buy just to get by? If so, this video might completely change how you see it. Right now, Dollar Tree shelves are carrying products that don't look $1 at all. From kitchen items to storage solutions, there are pieces that feel surprisingly upscale, things you'd normally expect to buy at Target or much more expensive home decor stores. The problem is, most people walk right past them without realizing their real value. These are deals from new shipments that only show up briefly before disappearing. After watching this, you'll head to Dollar Tree faster, shop more intentionally, and stop buying out of old habits. You'd be awesome if you liked this video. 1 Fabric storage bins. Shoe storage bags. These fabric storage bins and shoe bags are hitting shelves right after the holiday season, exactly when many people start decluttering their closets and cutting back on excess items. What stands out in this batch isn't flashy sizing or elaborate designs, but the level of finish that far exceeds the price point. The fabric holds its shape and doesn't collapse. The stitching is clean, and placing them in a closet or under the bed instantly makes the space feel more organized. At just around $125 per item, many shoppers choose to buy several at once to create a coordinated look instead of spending significantly more on organizers from specialty stores. The shoe bags help separate shoes from clothing, reducing odors and dust, while the fabric bins are flexible enough to store towels, off-season clothes, or miscellaneous bedroom items. These are the kind of purchases you can use immediately, no overthinking required. One thing to keep in mind is that these styles usually appear in short runs, especially after the holidays when stores are clearing inventory. Neutral colors like gray and beige tend to sell out first. If you're reorganizing your space at the start of the year, this is a category worth grabbing early because when you come back later, there's often not enough left to match sets. 2 Foldable Travel Organizer Bags. They hang on Dollar Tree shelves, but visually they look almost identical to the travel organizers sold at airports or travel stores, where prices typically run $15–20. What surprises most people is the material quality and overall construction. The fabric is moderately thick with a smooth surface, not limp or flimsy. The zipper glides easily, one pull, and it opens or closes cleanly without snagging or stiffness. The stitching feels solid with no sense that it'll fall apart after a few uses. Folded up, it stays compact. Opened, the bag holds its shape well with enough compartments to keep items from piling up at the bottom. Customer reactions tend to follow the same pattern. At first, they grab one just to try it, thinking it'll be a temporary solution for a short trip. After using it, they realize it's far more convenient than expected. Toiletries stay separate. Charging cables and earbuds don't tangle, and small items no longer float around the suitcase. And then, they come back for more. Some buy extras for their gym bag. Others keep one in the car for emergencies, quick changes, workouts, or last-minute errands. It works in many situations, neat for travel, clean for the gym, and organized when kept in the car. You don't need to overthink how you'll use it. There's always a practical purpose. And visually, it looks neutral and clean, so even next to more expensive organizers, it doesn't give away its price. 3 long-stem wine glasses. These long-stem wine glasses are the kind of item that immediately feels out of place at Dollar Tree, but not in a cheap or disposable way. The bowl is tall and streamlined, the stem is well-proportioned, and from a distance they easily resemble glassware you'd see in higher-end home stores. Nothing flashy or over-designed, just refined enough to instantly make a table setting feel more elevated. If you've ever browsed Crate and Barrel, this shape will feel familiar: clear, slender glass with a moderately tall stem that immediately looks more upscale once it's on the table. The biggest difference is the price. A similar style there often costs several dozen dollars per set, while here you're holding something with a very similar aesthetic at a price that barely requires a second thought. In hand, the glass doesn't feel overly fragile. The clarity is decent, and it sits stably on the table without wobbling. What makes these glasses especially appealing is how versatile they are. You don't need to wait for a big party or special occasion. A weekend dinner, a few friends stopping by, or simply treating yourself to a glass of wine after a long day, switching from a regular glass to a stemmed one instantly changes the atmosphere. For anyone who enjoys table styling, this is a quick upgrade that doesn't cost much at all. 4 decorative glass jar scented candles. Decor-style scented candles in glass jars are the kind of item that already sounds unusual at Dollar Tree because they don't look anything like 125 products. The glass jar is clear and well-shaped, the lid is simple, and the overall look is very clean, perfectly aligned with today's minimalist decor trends. What surprises many people is how easily these candles can be mistaken at a glance for ones sold in decor stores or by lifestyle brands priced at $12–20. Same type of glass jar, similar neutral color palette, and that looks good just sitting there, quality rather than something you light once and then hide in a corner. For anyone who enjoys styling their living room, bedroom, or desk, placing one of these instantly changes the feel of the space. The scent is also pleasant and restrained, not overpowering or sharp. When lit, it creates a soft atmosphere without filling the entire room too aggressively. It works well for quiet evenings at home reading, watching a movie, or simply adding a subtle layer of warmth so the space feels less empty. Many people buy these candles initially with no intention of lighting them, purely for decorative purposes. But after lighting one and realizing it's perfectly fine, they come back for more. One for the living room, one for the bedroom, and another for the bathroom. Just a few placed around the house can make it feel more put together and intentional without spending much at all. 5 Yardley London Bar Soap, limited edition scents. A British brand that's been around for over a century long, associated with elegance and classic body care, yet here it is on the shelf for $1.25. Just hearing that already sounds almost unbelievable. The packaging is striking. Thick paper boxes with refined patterns, soft color palettes, subtle metallic accents, and embossed lettering. Placed in a bathroom or on a vanity, these bars look no different from soaps sold in gift shops or boutique spas. The scents are soft, clean, and very spa-like. Fragrances such as jasmine, rose, or strawberry and cream are not overpowering or overly sweet like mass-market soaps. When used, the lather is smooth and fine, the skin doesn't feel tight or dry afterward, and the scent lingers lightly rather than clinging too strongly. The overall experience feels like using a high-end hotel soap, the kind set out for guests that everyone ends up complimenting. Many people initially buy just one bar out of curiosity, but the reaction is usually the same. They try it at home, then come back for more. Some keep extras in the guest bathroom, some break them up as small gifts, and others simply stock up because they know this kind of item won't be around for long. And they're right. 6 Pro Silk Creamy Cashmere Lotion EOS Dupe. Pro Silk Creamy Cashmere Lotion feels like it's priced far below the actual experience it delivers. Sitting on a Dollar Tree shelf for $1.25, it doesn't look or feel like something you grabbed in a rush. The bottle is compact, the color is neutral, and the label is clean and clear, perfectly fine to leave out on a bathroom shelf or vanity without needing to hide it. The real appeal is in the texture and scent. The cream has a medium-rich consistency that spreads smoothly, absorbs quickly, and dries down comfortably. Skin feels soft immediately after application, without greasiness, stickiness, or an uncomfortable sheen. The creamy cashmere scent is light, warm, and slightly sweet, leaning more toward a calming, relaxing feel than a strong fragrance. It's especially pleasant at night, easy on the senses, not overpowering and not cloying. When people compare lotions priced at $15 or more, they're usually looking for three things: a pleasant scent, a satisfying application feel, and packaging that looks good left out. Pro Silk. Creamy cashmere checks all three boxes. That's why many people consider it an EOS dupe, not because it looks the same, but because the skin feel is genuinely comparable. Like the video if you're surprised. 7 Spatula Silicone Cook with Color. A spatula, hanging on a 125 rack, but the moment you touch it, it doesn't feel like a throwaway purchase. The one-piece design is clean and streamlined, the colors are tasteful, and the surface is smooth. Just looking at it, you can tell it's something you can leave out on the kitchen counter rather than hide in a drawer. Where it really stands out is in actual use. The silicone head is soft enough to flex, perfect for scraping the bottom of a bowl, cleaning out sauce or folding batter, but not floppy. The handle feels secure in the hand, not slippery, and doesn't require extra grip strength. When stirring in a hot pan, the spatula holds its shape, well, doesn't sag, and doesn't curl at the edges. Small kitchen tasks, scraping the last bit of batter, gathering sauce, gently stirring. Feel smooth and controlled. Heat resistance makes a noticeable difference. The silicone doesn't go limp when exposed to heat, doesn't absorb odors after a few uses, and doesn't peel or discolor quickly. It's also safe for non-stick cookware without scratching the surface. This is the kind of everyday tool you can rely on without thinking too much and without needing to replace it soon. Anyone who's used kitchen tools from Williams-Sonoma will recognize this familiar feel, understated but immediately comfortable in the hand, easy to use for long periods, and efficient in motion. The experience is very close to higher-end tools. The only real difference is the lack of a premium price tag. You're not buying it for the brand name, but because it genuinely performs well. 8 Glass Jars with Clamp Lids. These airtight glass jars with clamp lids bring exactly the feeling of a bright, organized kitchen, where everything on display feels intentional. Clear glass, well-balanced proportions, and a sturdy metal clamp lid that closes with a satisfying click. Just placing a few of these on a shelf instantly changes how the kitchen looks without needing any extra decor. Their biggest value lies in the sense of order they create. Coffee, sugar, salt, dry goods, or snacks simply look cleaner and more appealing in these jars than in plastic bags or mismatched containers. Open the lid, use what you need, and clamp it shut. No twisting, no spills. Small details, but they make a noticeable difference in everyday routines. For anyone who enjoys organizing spaces, this is one of the easiest items to create visual impact. Line up matching jars, and you immediately get that Pinterest kitchen vibe, bright, tidy, and thoughtfully styled. Beyond home, use these jars also make great gifts. Fill one with coffee beans, candy granola, or herb salt. Add a simple string and it becomes a gift that looks refined and intentional, not rushed. If you've browsed decor stores before, this style will feel familiar. Same material, same clamp lid, same purpose. The difference is usually where you buy it, not the experience itself. That's why many people don't just pick up one, but gather a full set to use consistently for a cohesive look. 9 Pillsbury Chocolate Chip Cookie Mix. This isn't an off-brand or a stripped-down version. It's the same name that's been part of American family kitchens for generations, with a flavor so familiar that just seeing the box tells you exactly what the cookies will taste like. What really makes this product shine isn't the baking technique, it's the feeling it creates. Mix it. Put it in the oven, and as the smell spreads, the entire kitchen atmosphere changes. The scent of butter and melting chocolate chips brings people back to weekend evenings baking with family and simple moments that stay memorable. This is comfort food that doesn't need much explanation. You take a bite and immediately feel lighter. With food prices continuing to rise, affordable options that don't sacrifice experience are becoming harder to find. A box of cookie mix like this solves a familiar problem quickly. What to make for the evening that's simple, budget-friendly, and still satisfying. No need to gather ingredients, no need to buy overpriced bakery treats, just warm, fresh cookies in a short amount of time. 10 Pro Performance Athletic Socks 3-pack. 3 pairs of Pro Performance athletic socks sitting side by side on the shelf often stop people in their tracks because the comparison is so stark, same function. But here, you get 3 pairs. While elsewhere, 1 pair can easily cost $12. No knockoff logos, no bold pro branding, But the moment you pick them up, they already feel different from thin socks that stretch out after just a few wears. What matters here is performance, not name recognition. The fabric is moderately thick with cushioning at the heel and toe. They hug the foot without feeling tight. The stretch is balanced enough to wear all day without cutting into the ankle. Once inside shoes, they feel cushioned right away, no bunching, no slipping. For anyone who walks a lot, runs errands, goes to the gym, or stands for long hours, the difference becomes clear very quickly. Real-world use is what keeps people coming back. Worn all day, they don't cause blisters, and when shoes come off, they're not overly damp. Moisture control is solid, breathable, not stuffy, and slow to trap odors. After washing, they dry quickly, hold their shape well, and don't twist or stretch out at the cuff. After just a few uses, something that even many branded socks struggle with. Compared to paying for a name, these socks send a clear message. You don't need a logo, you need results. If something that touches your feet all day does its job properly, comfortable, dry, durable, then the branding matters far less. Especially when budgets are tighter, paying for real performance instead of image makes more sense. 11 Silicone Sink Strainers. One of the most overlooked items at Dollar Tree actually solves a very expensive household problem: clogged drains. Silicone sink strainers may look extremely simple at first glance, but once you use them, their value becomes far greater than their appearance suggests. In the kitchen or bathroom, hair food scraps, coffee grounds, and vegetable peels. Once these slip into the drain a few times, water starts draining more slowly. At first, it's tolerable, but once the drain fully clogs, options disappear. Either you take the pipes apart yourself or call a plumber. And anyone who's ever called a plumber knows the cost doesn't stop at just a few $dozen. The soft silicone rim fits snugly around the drain opening and doesn't shift even with strong water flow. Everything that would normally go down the pipe is neatly caught on top. When it fills up, you simply lift it out, dump it into the trash, and rinse it clean. No gloves, no chemicals, no dealing with odors. Compared to rigid metal strainers that scratch or rust, silicone feels much more user-friendly. It doesn't scrape the sink, doesn't warp, and doesn't pinch your fingers when removing it. It works just as well in the kitchen sink, bathroom sink, or even a laundry basin. This is also a new seasonal item. Dollar Tree typically puts practical utility items like this on shelves, in short runs, sells through them quickly, and then pulls them. It's not something you can assume will always be there when you need it. Many people who find them useful grab 2 or 3 at once for the kitchen, the bathroom, or as backups. 12 Dollar Tree Heavy-Duty Kitchen Scissors. In the kitchen, there are tools you use every day but rarely think about until they're missing, and suddenly everything slows down. Heavy-duty kitchen scissors fall into that category. They don't look flashy, but once you start using them, it's clear they're made to work, not to be decorative. The blades are thick and sharp, cutting cleanly and decisively. Raw chicken, small bones, tough plastic packaging, twist ties. Everything cuts smoothly without straining your hand or needing repeated snips. The difference is immediately noticeable compared to thin scissors that can only handle paper or plastic bags. When cutting, force transfers evenly without slipping or blade twisting. Something you only truly appreciate after real use. What really stands out is versatility. One pair of scissors replaces multiple tools: cutting meat, trimming vegetables, opening packaging, cutting strings, and even helping crack through tougher shells. As a result, you don't need extra utility knives, small pliers, or separate openers cluttering the drawer. Fewer tools, faster prep, and a cleaner kitchen. The handles are solid and secure, even with wet hands. Extended use doesn't cause wrist fatigue because the cutting force isn't awkward or strained. For anyone who cooks regularly, this matters far more than how the tool looks. A good kitchen tool doesn't need to draw attention, it just needs to work smoothly every time you reach for it. This list focuses on recognizing the right moment to buy. Every item mentioned is currently in that window where the price is still good before the run ends, or the product disappears from shelves. Knowing early helps avoid having to repurchase later at a higher price or settle for inferior alternatives. The value for viewers is buying at the right time, reducing repeat purchases, and taking advantage of opportunities that only exist briefly. Which deal in the video surprised you the most?
One of the last true dollar stores, Dollar Tree, is about to succumb to inflation and soaring shipping costs.
Have you ever wondered why every time you walk into Dollar Tree, you leave with a cart full of stuff but still question whether you actually saved money? Behind those $125 price tags, Dollar Tree hides a slew of secrets that few shoppers know about, from the way they arrange their products to size manipulation tricks to hidden treasures that only appear online or on special delivery days. If you know these secrets, the savings aren't just a few bucks here and there. They can make a real difference in your monthly budget. In this video, we're going to uncover 11 secrets Dollar Tree doesn't want you to know. Like and subscribe if this video was helpful to you. 1. The golden time to hunt for new items. There's a secret most shoppers miss. The best time to score new items at Dollar Tree is right after a delivery arrives. Many people just pop in when it's convenient, but seasoned Dollar Tree insiders know that each store has a fixed delivery schedule every week. On those days, employees unpack cartons filled with fresh products, everything from household goods and food to office supplies and seasonal decorations. If you show up at the right time, you'll find shelves stocked with fresh items that haven't been picked over yet. This is your only shot to grab hot deals before they disappear in a day or two. The interesting thing? Dollar Tree doesn't advertise their delivery schedules, but you can easily ask a store employee directly. Savvy shoppers even jot down the schedule and plan their visits for the morning after delivery day. This way, they stay ahead of the crowd, snagging high-quality or seasonal items, things you'd only find on empty shelves if you arrive late. For example, during holiday seasons, Halloween or Christmas decorations and party supplies sell out fast. Shoppers who know the delivery schedule can pick out the best designs and get enough stock, instead of settling for whatever's left. The same goes for frozen food or household items. New shipments are limited, and showing up late means missing out entirely. In short, getting the best deals at Dollar Tree isn't just about knowing what to buy. It's about knowing when to buy. If you want to maximize your money, try asking a store employee about the delivery schedule. It might just be the key to always finding great, useful, and cheap items before they vanish from the shelves. 2. Accepting manufacturer coupons. One of the best-kept secret weapons when shopping at Dollar Tree is that they accept manufacturer coupons. It sounds simple, but this is a game-changer to bring prices even lower than the already cheap 125s. Many shoppers assume Dollar Tree doesn't allow additional discounts since everything is priced the same. But the truth is, if you bring a legitimate coupon from brands like P&G, Colgate, or Kellogg's, you can use it at checkout. Picture this. A tube of Colgate toothpaste costs $1.25 at Dollar Tree, and you have a one-off manufacturer coupon. That means you only pay 25 cents, or sometimes even get it for free if the coupon's value exceeds the listed price. This is a strategy that veteran couponers have mastered, turning Dollar Tree into a hotspot for deals cheaper than big-box supermarkets. There are a few things to keep in mind, though. Dollar Tree doesn't accept coupons printed from other retailers like Target or Walmart, and they limit how many coupons you can use for the same item in one transaction. So, read the fine print on the coupon to ensure it matches the product's size, volume, or type. Some Dollar Tree stores also have stricter rules, so it's best to be prepared to avoid surprises at the register. That said, when you know how to use them, coupons can turn penny-pinching purchases into incredible deals. Many shoppers share stories of walking away with bags of personal care items or packaged food for the price of a single coffee. This proves Dollar Tree isn't just a dollar store. It's a playground for those who know how to strategize. 3. Buying in bulk. One of the biggest misconceptions about Dollar Tree is that it's only good for picking up single, small items. Need a bottle of dish soap, a pack of snacks, or a few cheap candles? Dollar Tree is perfect for that. But what many don't realize is that Dollar Tree lets you buy in bulk, like at Costco or Sam's Club, just at a much lower price and with smaller-sized products. On the Dollar Tree website, there's a case quantities section where you can order entire cases of products: plastic cups, paper plates, party decorations, candles, vases, or craft supplies. For example, a small candle you see in-store might be sold individually, but online, you may need to buy a case of 12. This is a lifesaver if you need large quantities for parties, classroom decorations, or DIY projects. You can order online, choose to ship to your nearest store, and pick up for free, saving both money and ensuring you get enough of what you need. Here's the cool part. Buying in bulk lets you mix and match between online and in-store products. Let's say you find a set of plates with 4 different patterns, but your local store only has half the set. You can go online to order the missing pieces and complete your collection. This kind of flexibility is rare for a dollar store chain, and many shoppers only discover it after missing out on a deal. Plus, buying in bulk helps you avoid Dollar Tree's infamous out-of-stock problem. Regular shoppers know that hot items can sell out in days. But when you order a whole case, you secure enough for your needs without running around multiple stores. For things like party supplies or office products, buying in bulk not only saves time but also makes you feel like you've scored a major deal before anyone else even notices. 4. Closeouts and online liquidation. One of the hidden gold mines that few people notice about Dollar Tree is their closeouts and liquidation section, or simply put, their online clearance inventory. If you're used to just popping into your local store and assuming empty shelves mean they're sold out, you're likely missing out on some incredible deals. In reality, Dollar Tree gathers excess inventory and surplus products from various stores and lists them on their website in a dedicated section. This is why you might hear a friend brag, "I just got this at Dollar Tree," but you search for a week and find nothing. It's not at your store, it's in the online clearance section. What makes this section special is that the items are often carefully curated. You can find highly rated products, familiar brands, and even leftover seasonal items. From household goods, decorations, and party supplies to packaged food, everything might show up here at a lower price, or at least give you access to rare items no longer available in stores. For example, last Christmas, many shoppers noticed that tree decorations at Dollar Tree sold out within days. But in the closeout section, sets of ornaments and string lights were still available by the case, priced at just $1.25 per item. Those who knew this trick could grab an entire case to decorate their home or share with friends, while others had to settle for paying 3 or 4 times more elsewhere. Beyond that, the online clearance section is also a great place to hunt for out-of-season items, like Halloween decorations in November or summer party supplies when the weather turns cold. With a bit of flexibility and long-term planning, you can save significantly for the next year. 5. No pressure to buy large quantities. One thing that makes people hesitant about shopping online at Dollar Tree is the feeling of being forced to buy in bulk. You spot a beautiful glass cup or a few cute scented candles, but when you click, the system says, "Must buy a case of 12." This makes sense for hosting parties or buying wholesale, but sometimes you just want a few items to try out or decorate with. The good news? Dollar Tree has a little-known workaround, the smaller quantities section on their website. Here, you can freely buy single items without being required to order an entire case. Need one wine glass for a flower arrangement? Want a single bowl to complete a chipped set at home? Or just need a few craft supplies for your kid's small project? This section lets you buy exactly what you need, instead of filling your garage with a case of extras you don't want. What's surprising is that not everyone knows about this feature. Many shoppers miss out because they assume Dollar Tree only sells in bulk online. But once you discover smaller quantities, the shopping experience changes completely. It's more flexible, more cost-effective, and tailored to your actual needs. You no longer have to pay for extras that end up going to waste. Plus, this section is regularly updated with new items, from household goods and craft supplies to decorations and glassware. Some customers even use it to hunt for unique single items that their local store doesn't carry. This way, Dollar Tree doesn't just cater to bulk buyers. It also serves shoppers who want to buy just enough. Don't miss the rest of these secrets. Follow the channel. 6. Cheap toys and jewelry. When you walk into Dollar Tree, it's hard to resist the toy and jewelry aisles. Mini car sets, one-tot 25 doll kits, or sparkling earrings hanging by the walkway always catch the eye of kids and adults alike. At such low prices, many parents see these as a quick way to entertain their kids or grab small gifts to keep them quiet in the store. But behind the appeal lies an issue few people talk about: quality and safety. Independent tests have shown that some cheap toys at dollar store chains, including Dollar Tree, may contain harmful chemicals like lead, chlorine, or low-quality plastic compounds. Children's jewelry is even more concerning, as it's sometimes made from cheap materials without strict quality control. The result? Products can break easily, fade, or even pose risks if kids put them in their mouths or swallow them. Some customers share stories of buying look-alike toys that mimic big brands, only to get items that smell strongly of plastic break-in days, or feel flimsy. This doesn't mean everything at Dollar Tree is unsafe, but it's clearly not the place to rely on for long-lasting quality. Instead, if you're buying for kids, opt for safer options like stickers, coloring books, or small craft supplies. These are generally stable and harmless. For jewelry, consider spending a few extra dollars at a bigger retailer for something more durable and trustworthy. Dollar Tree is great for one-time use party supplies or decorations, but when it comes to items tied to health and safety, especially for kids, you should be cautious. 7. School supplies. Many parents believe Dollar Tree is a paradise for back-to-school season, where you can stock up on notebooks, pens, paper, and glue for just a few dollars. The colorful school supply aisles attract both kids and parents, with everything seeming cheap and convenient. But the reality is far from what people imagine. If you look closely, many items here aren't actually cheaper than at Target, Walmart, or other big retailers during sale season. For example, a 70-page lined notebook at Dollar Tree costs $1.25, and online, you might even have to buy a case of 24 if you order. Meanwhile, during peak season, Target or Walmart often offer deals as low as 25 cents per notebook, with no minimum purchase required. The difference sounds small, but when you're buying a long list for your kids, from notebooks, sticky notes, and pencils to folders, the savings at other stores can easily double or triple what you'd save at Dollar Tree. Quality is another issue. Many parents complain that Dollar Tree's notebook covers are thin and tear easily, pens run out of ink quickly or clog, and glue sticks dry out after just a few uses. For kids, this doesn't just waste money, it can disrupt their daily schoolwork. That said, not all school supplies at Dollar Tree are useless. Items like stickers, colored paper, or craft supplies are still reasonable choices, especially for short-term projects. But for things you need to last, like notebooks, pens, or folders, consider shopping at bigger stores during sales. You'll likely get much better value. 8. Greeting cards and stickers. There's one section in Dollar Tree that almost everyone agrees is a genuine steal: the greeting cards and stickers aisle. While a single birthday card at Hallmark or even Target can easily cost you $4 to $7, at Dollar Tree you'll only spend $1.25 or sometimes even get 2 cards for $1. This makes a huge difference for anyone who attends parties, weddings, or birthdays, or just wants to send a heartfelt note without shelling out a crisp bill for a piece of printed paper. What surprises many shoppers is that Dollar Tree's cards aren't as cheap in quality as you might expect. They come in a wide variety of designs with modern styles, and some are even printed by the same manufacturers as big brands, just without the logo. You can find cards for birthdays, weddings, thank yous, condolences, pretty much any occasion. This variety is why many people never buy cards anywhere else. Beyond cards, Dollar Tree's sticker section is a paradise for kids and parents alike. At rock-bottom prices, you can grab colorful sticker sets to reward kids for finishing homework, decorate notebooks, or use for school craft projects. Kids love them, and parents appreciate the affordable price tag that brings big joy. Compared to other Dollar Tree items, which can spark debates about quality, greeting cards and stickers are a safe investment. You don't have to worry about ingredients, durability, or expiration dates. A 50-cent card still carries the same emotional weight, and the smile on the recipient's face is just as warm. 9. Not all stores are the same. One of the most interesting and sometimes confusing things about Dollar Tree is that not every store is identical. People often assume a dollar store chain means every location will have the same products and experience. But in reality, each Dollar Tree can be quite different, and this creates both opportunities and challenges for shoppers. Some stores focus on dry goods, office supplies, or small household items. Meanwhile, larger locations might have a full freezer section, selling frozen foods, ice cream, or even $1.25 steaks. It sounds unbelievable, but yes, some Dollar Trees have carried frozen beef. Of course, the quality doesn't compare to a big supermarket, but for many, trying a Dollar Tree steak is still a memorable experience. Beyond food, the differences also show in how often stores restock. Locations in busy areas tend to rotate products faster, constantly getting new items, especially seasonal decorations. Smaller stores in remote areas, on the other hand, might hold on to older inventory longer, leaving shelves looking sparse and less appealing. This explains why a friend might brag about snagging a hot item at their local Dollar Tree, while you search everywhere and find nothing. The trick? Don't be afraid to visit different locations. If you love hunting for deals, try exploring Dollar Trees in other areas. Sometimes just a few miles away can offer completely different products. To save time, ask store employees about special shipments or the standout product sections at that specific location. 10. Cashback through apps. A little-known secret about shopping at Dollar Tree is that you can get cashback through apps, something most people only associate with Target or Walmart. It sounds strange since Dollar Tree's prices are already so low, but many big brand products at Dollar Tree qualify for cashback offers on popular apps like Ibotta, Fetch Rewards, or Shopkick. Imagine buying a box of Jell-O, a pack of Cocoa Puffs, or even a case of Aquafina water at Dollar Tree. If there's a promotion on the app, you just scan your receipt and earn points or a few cents back. It might seem small, but over a month, those savings can add up to an Amazon gift card or a discount on your next shopping trip. The interesting part? Many shoppers overlook this because they assume Dollar Tree only sells generic or low-cost items. But big brands like Colgate, Aleve, or Klondike bars regularly appear on their shelves. When these match an app's deal, you can score products cheaper than at big supermarkets. Some shoppers have even dropped the price of Colgate toothpaste from $1.25 to just 25 cents by combining coupons and cashback. One thing to note, Dollar Tree receipts are often very basic, so make sure the app correctly identifies the product when you scan. A quick tip is to keep the packaging and snap a photo of the barcode if the app requires verification. Also, some apps let you stack rewards, meaning a few shopping trips could earn you enough points for a $5–10 gift card. 11. Bonus buys. One of the most overlooked but incredibly valuable secrets at Dollar Tree is the bonus buys section. If you shop here often, you've probably noticed familiar products like shampoo, body wash, dish soap, or packaged food, sold in much smaller bottles or boxes compared to big retailers. At first glance, the $1.25 price seems like a steal, but if you calculate by ounce, you might actually be paying more than at Walmart or Costco. That's where bonus buys come in as a lifesaver. In the bonus buys section, Dollar Tree offers products in standard sizes, the same ones you'd find at bigger stores, but keeps the low price. Instead of a tiny shampoo bottle that lasts a few weeks, you might find a full-size one equivalent to supermarket brands. Even better, bonus buys aren't just in stores, they're also available on Dollar Tree's website. This means you can order ahead, ship to your local store, and ensure you don't miss out on larger-sized products at rock-bottom prices. For smart shoppers, bonus buys are the key to maximizing Dollar Tree's value and avoiding the small but seems cheap trap. If you've ever been frustrated by a tiny shampoo bottle or a snack bag, barely enough for a movie night, this is the solution to save money and get the value you deserve. Dollar Tree can be a fantastic place to hunt for deals, but not every product is truly a bargain. The secret lies in knowing how to use bonus buys, online closeouts, cashback apps, manufacturer coupons, and the right time to shop. At the same time, steer clear of traps like low-quality vitamins, flimsy toys, or school supplies that aren't actually a steal. By mastering these 11 secrets, every Dollar Tree trip will help you save smarter and more effectively. Which of these tips have you successfully used? Share your experience.
And the manager at the Dollar Tree here in Adamsville tells me a number of people come in up.
Do you think that with just $1 you can't save any more than that? Think again. Dollar Tree is still full of secrets that even regular shoppers haven't noticed. Behind every shelf, every discount tag, or every clearance event are real savings opportunities, where you can buy brand-name items, decorations, or even expensive products for the price of a small coffee. If you thought you already knew everything about Dollar Tree, stick around, because these 12 secrets will completely change how you shop and help you keep more money in your pocket after every swipe of your card. If you want to shop smarter, hit subscribe. 1. Surplus stock from big chains. Have you ever walked into Dollar Tree and spotted a bottle of shampoo, a scented candle, or a hand soap that looked unusually high-end? Those aren't fakes or knockoffs. They're surplus items from big chains like Target, Walmart, or CVS that have been sent to Dollar Tree for resale. When major retailers need to clear their shelves for a new season, they bundle up excess stock, discontinued items, or products with slightly damaged packaging and ship them to Dollar Tree. So sometimes you'll find items that once cost $8 to $10 now priced at just $1.25. The interesting part? The quality is exactly the same, just with a slightly different box or label. Maybe the packaging is a bit dented, the print color is off, or the brand switched to a new package design. Instead of throwing these items away, they're sold to Dollar Tree to be offered at a steep discount. And that's your chance to snag a deal. To catch these surplus stock hauls, visit Dollar Tree at the start of March, August, or December, when big chains clear out their inventory the most. Each location might get different items. Some get decorations, others get cosmetics or kitchen supplies. And heads up, these items sell out fast, sometimes in just a few days. So if you see something familiar but unusual, don't hesitate. At Dollar Tree, the early bird gets the deal, because the item you grab today might not be there tomorrow. 2. Dollar Tree Hunters Group. If you've ever seen someone brag about finding a rare gem at Dollar Tree and wondered, how did they know before me? The answer lies in a special community, Dollar Tree Hunters. This is where true deal hunters gather, sharing updates on new arrivals and hidden clearance deals just hours after they hit the shelves. They post photos, product codes, and even specific store locations so you don't miss out. Just head to Facebook and search for Dollar Tree Hunters, and you'll find tens of thousands of members active daily. Some post about super rare finds, like old edition Bath & Body Works candles, L'Oreal cosmetics, or even toys that used to be sold at Target. They don't just show off. They include SKU codes, so you can check Dollar Tree's website to see if a nearby store has the item in stock. Many even use this info to reserve items in advance, avoiding the disappointment of arriving at an empty shelf. 3. Items to avoid. Many people think everything at Dollar Tree is a steal, but some items can actually cost you more in the long run. These are the products you should avoid, as their quality doesn't match the price, and they can even be more expensive compared to big retailers like Walmart or Aldi. Take a simple example. A box of pasta, a bag of baking mix, or a canned item at Dollar Tree might cost $1.25, while the same brand and type at Walmart could be around 90 cents. The difference seems small, but it adds up with multiple purchases. Items like canned goods, rice, baking flour, cereal, instant noodles, or baking mixes often fall into this category. Most are packaged in smaller sizes or have inconsistent quality. Sometimes their expiration dates are shorter than what you'd find at a supermarket. You might think you're getting a bargain, but if you end up throwing out half the box because it's stale, you've lost both money and effort. As for school or office supplies, think twice. A $1.25 notebook at Dollar Tree might sound reasonable, but at Walmart, you can get one for 50 to 75 cents with thicker paper and a sturdier cover. Glue sticks, scissors, pens, or colored paper at Dollar Tree can be hit or miss. Glue that doesn't stick, pens that don't write smoothly, or scissors that break after a few cuts. 4. Hidden clearance section. If you've been to Dollar Tree dozens of times and never noticed a clearance section, you're not alone. That's because the hidden clearance area here doesn't have big signs or flashy displays like other stores. It's quietly tucked away in a corner that only the sharpest shoppers spot. Try looking for green baskets or an old cart near the last checkout counter. That's where Dollar Tree hides deeply discounted items, some as low as 25 cents. Many people walk right by without noticing, but for savvy shoppers, this is a true treasure trove. You'll find all sorts of things: last season's decorations, hand soaps with misprinted labels, slightly dented candle boxes, or craft supplies with minor scratches. All still perfectly usable, just not pristine enough for the main shelves. And Dollar Tree chooses to clear them out fast with rock-bottom prices. However, the clearance section's location isn't fixed. Some stores place it at the end of the checkout line, while others hide it in a back corner near the cleaning supplies or bathroom area. If you have time, take a lap around the store. You'll be surprised when you stumble upon that secret corner. Some shoppers even build rapport with store staff and casually ask, "Any new clearance carts come in today?" Often getting a knowing smile and a nod in return. A small tip: Visit at the end of the week or after major holidays, as that's when stores start clearing inventory, and clearance items pop up the most. Those who know how to look can walk out with a cart full of goodies for just a few bucks in minutes. At Dollar Tree, you don't always need a sale sign to find a deal. Sometimes the best bargains are in the last place you'd expect. Like if you think more people need to know about this. 5. Secret discount days. Not everyone knows that Dollar Tree has golden discount days, but they don't advertise them loudly. These secret discount days are called Associate Appreciation Day and Customer Appreciation Day. They usually happen in July, October, or November, and if you shop on those days, you'll get 10% off your bill of $10 or more. It might not sound like much, but for smart shoppers, it's a chance to stock up on essentials at an incredible value. The interesting part? These days are rarely announced clearly on the website. They're often mentioned on small flyers at the checkout counter or printed on receipts. Some stores even post discreet notices near the entrance, so if you're not paying attention, it's easy to miss. But if you're observant, just ask a staff member, "When's the next Appreciation Day?" They're usually happy to spill the beans. And don't forget another lesser-known perk. You can return items within 30 days. If you buy something defective or just don't like it when you get home, as long as you have the receipt, Dollar Tree will let you exchange it for another item of equal value. No refunds, no complicated explanations. Just bring it to the counter and swap it out. 6. Seasonal stock schedule. If you've ever wondered why Dollar Tree is already overflowing with Christmas decorations in early September, it's actually a deliberate seasonal stock strategy that few people know about. Here, everything is one step ahead. Holiday items hit the shelves about a month before the actual event, sometimes even earlier. That means if you want the best Halloween decorations, start shopping in early September. For Christmas items, get ready in November, or sometimes even late October. Don't wait until the holiday season arrives to shop, because by then, the best and most unique items will already be gone. Halloween decorations, Christmas cards, string lights, gift boxes, candy wrapping supplies, they all sell out incredibly fast. Those who understand this pattern stock up early, store items neatly, and reuse them the next year, saving money while getting the best stuff. Beyond holidays, Dollar Tree has seasons for specific product categories. Spring is the golden time for home organization and storage items, as that's when they roll out plastic bins, storage baskets, and drawer dividers in all sizes and colors. From September to December, it's the season for crafts and DIY. Shelves brim with glue, ribbons, candles, and handmade decor accessories. 7. Buying DIY items online in small quantities. Many people assume that shopping on Dollar Tree's website means ordering in bulk, like 12 or 24 items at a time, so they skip it. But here's a little-known trick. You can actually buy DIY craft items on Dollar Tree's website in much smaller quantities, sometimes as few as 5 items per order. This is super convenient for those who love making decorations or gifts, or running small businesses without getting stuck with excess stock. For example, foam wreaths for floral crafts, ribbons, hot glue sticks, or decorative glass jars can all be ordered in small amounts. Some items even qualify for free ship-to-store delivery, meaning you order online and pick up at your local store without spending an extra cent. This ensures you get the items you need without arriving at an empty shelf. Another tip: if you spot an item with a minor flaw, like a paint scratch or glue smudge, don't be afraid to ask the staff. Often, they'll mark it down to 75 cents to avoid throwing it out. For DIY enthusiasts, this is a gold mine, as a little creativity can make those items perfect. The best part? Dollar Tree's DIY stock changes constantly. Each season they release new items: wooden frames, paints, stickers, felt, and even decorative beads. Many people buy a few sets, create projects, and share them on social media, both creative and budget-friendly. 8. Using coupons the right way. Most people assume Dollar Tree doesn't accept coupons because the prices are already so low, but in reality, if you know how, you can save even more. Dollar Tree accepts manufacturer coupons, both printed and digital, as long as you follow a few small rules. And it's these details that are the secret to getting high-quality items at unbelievably low prices. First, you can only use manufacturer coupons, not ones that say Walmart only or Target only. As long as the coupon is valid and has a clear barcode, Dollar Tree will take it. If the coupon says any size, you're in luck, because most items at Dollar Tree are smaller sizes. Brands like Jimmy Dean, Lysol, or Glad often have these types of coupons, and when you apply them, a $1.25 item could drop to just a few cents. However, there are a few limits to keep in mind. You can only use 4 identical coupons per day and 2 digital coupons, as long as each coupon has a different code. Dollar Tree won't give cash back if the coupon's value exceeds the item's price. For example, a $2 coupon on a $1.25 item will only count for $1.25. 9. Choosing the right store. Not all Dollar Tree stores are the same. Some have empty shelves, dim lighting, and messy displays, while others are bright, clean, stocked with new items, and even have a frozen food section. The trick is picking the right store. It can completely change your shopping experience. Before you go, visit Dollar Tree's website and check the store locator. You can filter by store type, like ones with frozen food sections, snack aisles, or Dollar Tree Plus sections. These locations are often better stocked with more variety and higher quality items. The Dollar Tree Plus sections are especially worth visiting, as they carry larger items and nicer designs at slightly higher but still worthwhile prices. You should also look for stores with staff who keep displays tidy, as they tend to restock new items sooner. Be friendly and ask employees about when new shipments arrive or if the store has upgraded sections. A few simple questions can tell you which locations are worth returning to. Also, prioritize stores near busy residential areas or close to big shopping centers. Those locations often get priority for early shipments and hotter deals. If one store feels lackluster, try a few others in the area. You'll be surprised at the difference. 10. Ask about restock schedules. If you've ever gone to Dollar Tree and found empty shelves, missing favorites, or hot items already gone, the reason is simple. You showed up at the wrong time. Unlike big supermarkets, Dollar Tree doesn't restock on a fixed schedule. Each store has its own restock days based on location and inventory levels, so if you shop randomly, you're likely to leave empty-handed. The most effective way is to ask staff or the manager directly. Be friendly, and they'll usually tell you which days of the week their store gets new shipments. Once you know the schedule, visit the day after a restock. That's the golden moment when everything is fresh, fully stocked, and hasn't been picked over yet. A small tip: look around. If you see freshly opened boxes, messy shelves, or that new item smell, it's a sign the store just got a delivery. Some stores restock early in the morning, others in the afternoon depending on the manager's schedule. Seasoned shoppers even keep notes for each store, like one gets new stock on Thursdays, another on Mondays. After a few visits, you'll figure out the rhythm of each location. 11. Buying holiday items post-season. When the holiday season ends, many people pack up and forget about a golden opportunity to save. That's the time to head back to Dollar Tree for post-season holiday deals. Right after a holiday, items you saw yesterday on shelves for $1.25 get slashed to half price or even a few cents. This is when Dollar Tree clears out old stock to make room for the next season, and those who time it right score big. For example, right after Christmas, you can grab gift boxes, wrapping paper, ornaments, or string lights for 50% off or less. Just after Valentine's Day, gift boxes, cards, scented candles, and red heart decorations move to the clearance section. Post-Halloween, those orange and black decor items that seem useless become perfect for DIY projects or next year's setup. The trick is to shop within 1 to 2 days after the holiday ends, as clearance items at Dollar Tree are limited and sell out fast. Savvy shoppers go early in the morning to snag the best picks before they're gone, and don't hesitate to buy for next year. Decorations, gift boxes, candles, ribbons, or tablecloths can be stored neatly and will look brand new when you pull them out later. 12. Plan with weekly add in Instacart. One reason many people overspend at Dollar Tree is because there's just too much tempting stuff. You plan to grab a few small things, but as you browse the aisles, your cart fills up before you know it. The easiest way to avoid this is to plan ahead using the Weekly Ad and Instacart app. On Dollar Tree's website, the Weekly Ad section is like a map that shows what's new in stores that week, what's coming soon, and what's running low. You can check it on your phone and filter by location to see if your local store has the items in stock. Instead of wandering aimlessly, you can glance at the list, pick exactly what you need, and save both time and gas money. A small tip: use the weekly ad to make a shopping list before the weekend. When you spot a must-have item in a new shipment or on sale, place an order through Instacart right away. This locks in your items and ensures you don't miss a great deal. And finally, misprinted label deals. Have you ever seen a bottle of shampoo, a hand soap, or a box of snacks with a slightly off-center label or misprinted text and put it back thinking it's defective? If so, you just missed a real bargain. At Dollar Tree, products with misprinted labels are your chance to get high-quality items at shockingly low prices. Big manufacturers often have thousands of products with minor label errors, like a wrong code, off-color print, or misplaced logo. The contents are still perfect, but since they can't be sold at major retailers, they're sent to Dollar Tree at a steep discount to clear out fast. The result? You get the exact same product, same formula, same brand, for just $125. For example, a bottle of body wash with a crooked label might come from the same batch sold at Target or Walmart. Or a box of snacks with a misprinted tagline tastes identical to the one you'd pay double for elsewhere. The only difference is the packaging, something manufacturers can't fix, but smart shoppers know how to take